Welcome in everybody to the Quack and Smite League amateur finals between the Cerbs and the catGirls. Catgirls will have first pick for this game number one. It is Killjoy alongside Jiren Lamb. Jiren, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm excited, man. We got amateurs grand finals. It's three grand finals back to back to back. The other night we had minors, last night was majors, and tonight we got amas. It's a really exciting string of events. It's time to get to the bottom of the season. Who is going to answer the call? Who will be your champions for this set? It's going to be a best of five, so we've definitely got ourselves a fantastic night lined up for us. I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to be seeing a lot of great plays.
It's going to be fantastic. Let's hop into game number one. Those picks and bans, of course, Jiren, with, like I said, catgirls having that first pick side. So you're going to be able to start seeing the bans roll through very momentarily for you. Odin, going to be the first one banned out, followed alongside of an Achilles, and then rounded out with a Geb so far. Jiren, there's not really anything surprising about any of these bans. All high tier bans, same with the Camazotz, just nobody wants to play that against these gods.
If I'm being honest, I am actually surprised about the bans. Camazotz was the fourth pick. that's that's all I can really say. Camazotz was the fourth ban of it. That's about all I'm surprised about. Everything else, all of these cards are just really solid. You don't really want to be playing against them, like Kleina, for example. Definitely not the most enjoyable of opponents.
Definitely not. I'm never a fan of fighting cleanas, but I'm also not a fan of fighting Bastetts, which is going to make it through the first round of the ban phase. Artio being the third ban out for the Serbs, but AMC is going to be that top pick overall. Now, with AMC locked in, do you think they go straight to this Bastet, one of that pick that's very highly valued at a high level?
Actually, I believe Bastet is still banned in QSL. It's comp banned in QSL until finals are done. It'll be
That makes
available
sense then.
once the next season starts. Although, what I do love to see the Serbs immediately respond by picking up both Oleron and Yamoja. Very, very powerful picks right now. The combination of the two of them is very devastating in a team fight. Sanctified Field and River's Rebuke on their own can be game changing. Combined, there's just no hope at that point. If you don't have beads and an escape up, well, have a
You know
nice
who?
trip back from Fountain.
Yeah, you know who doesn't have an escape? AMC. That's going to be a tough one for him to try to figure as they get into this game. So on the return pick now, so they got their back line here for the catgirls. This is a pretty good back line. Do you expect to see this AMC in mid, or do you think it's going to go towards the ADC role and go play in that longer lane? Or did you prefer maybe that soul over there?
I'm gonna go with it being Amuz Cub in the mid lane,
Greetings,
Soul in
friend.
the ADC. That's just gonna be my prediction. And then obviously we've got Kepri is gonna be the support. Reporter support has played Kepri quite a few times, especially in my set against him. And that Scarab's Blessing can really turn around a team fight. It'll be a fantastic way for him to get, especially that AMC out of a sanctified field a little bit quicker.
Yeah, that'll help a lot, especially if he's going to go
Now
down
is
and
the
all of a sudden just
time.
pull him right back out, and then they get some more damage pumping right in. On their turn side, the top three overall for the Serbs go along their Oleron and Yamojo will be a Nike that will round out their top three. So AMC Kepri Soul going against the Oleron, Yamoja, and Nike, and those are all two very good drafts so far, depending what you're looking at as the second wave of bans starts to come through. Chuck and Fenrir both taken out. And Chuck's one of those guys that really gets at Oleron, and it makes it very hard for him to want to play the game.
He's definitely not the most fun matchup to go against when you're playing Oleron. Just when he clicks that forward button and just kind of runs at you, that's a massive AoE circle that just silences you and knocks you up, and it just leads to a very bad time. And it can be kind of difficult to get out of, especially when you're silenced, since Oleron doesn't really have that great of an escape unless he pops Sanctified Field, but that could be a little bit of a waste of resources if you're not careful.
Oh yeah,
The
totally.
two,
Definitely don't want to be doing that.
the two, Guan Yu and Osiris. I definitely do like those two. They're definitely high pressure in the soul lane and can really pop off, especially in the hands of Uncle Fable, who's pretty renowned for just running at people and playing around that pressure.
Oh yeah, for sure. He'll just run at you too. We caught a ranked game the other day, and he was running at me, and I was very happy that I didn't have to play ADC that game. I was sitting on the support, running around on a Kepri. Nevertheless, we did win that, so maybe the Kepri's got a little bit of luck, especially now on the side of Uncle Fable. We'll see if he goes with, and Guan Yu's another one that really gets at that all around. But where do you think these guys want to go? The Cerbs, that is, for their other backliner. Do you think they're going to go for a renowned ADC, or do you think they're going to pick for something out in the mid lane and go for something physical?
I still think it's entirely possible. Yep, Erlang Shen. I was just thinking to myself, a high pressure jungle that can really get off to an explosive start might be something that they look at. And Erlang Shen
You'll
pretty
never
much just
defeat me.
solidifies that entire suspicion that I had.
The
If
law
there's one jungle
returns
you
to
can
this
think of
land.
that screams early pressure, Erlang Shen is definitely one of the first gods I think of, along with
Yeah.
somebody like Thanatos.
Is also true. Thanatos will also do pretty much the same thing, but I feel like Erlac's just got a little bit more ability, especially currently in the current state of the meta. And pairing that alongside a Imogen and Nike is going to feel really good. Backing it up with an Oleron plus a question mark of we're not really sure where they're going, so probably leaning for that Oleron into a flex pick. But Uncle Fable's going to lock in the tier here, Jiren. How do you feel about it?
Here is a god that he knows well and is pretty comfortable with, and I'm willing to bet that if he gets any sort of lead, he is going to make a quite difficult life for the Serbs and is more than capable of really just shoving it in their face. He's definitely going to be using it to play around his team since Tyr isn't typically a hyper carry type
Go,
solo.
Suku.
So letting that AMC and Soul just push out the numbers and then knocking it up for the Wheelix that get locked in, he's really going to be set up for his team and just providing that presence to really make them more effective on their own without him having to do all the damage.
I totally agree with you. And looking at this Willox that you did mention, not a lot of setup for her currently outside of the tier knockup near the end of the Fearless. Really looking to try to get some Yamoja cheese almost using those Riptides against her. So I'll have to be careful when they start using that. And go back to my question from earlier now, since obviously it's got to be this last pick. Where are they going? Do you think it's an ADC or do you think it's a mid and they're gonna lock in Charybdis? So you gotta imagine this is the mid laner.
Ah, who needs a mid laner? We're just gonna 5-man solo. They really want to shut down Uncle Fable.
I am the terror of
I
the
mean, yeah,
depths.
why not? That's a viable strategy. You're just gonna 5-man slam it right into the soul lane, put him behind, and then just hope you can deal with the four other Fed members. Didn't have to fight anybody.
The only problem is if they're gonna be shutting down Uncle Fable that harshly, especially if they're just focusing him all game, that can lead to somebody like General Telia on the Soul getting a lot of extra farm over his opponents. And we've seen what happens if General Telia gets a lead, especially when he plays his
Oh, yeah.
infamous Chibalanke. He is definitely capable of pushing that lead a little bit farther and can make it difficult to really do much from the duo side.
It'll be exciting here, Jerry, and especially as we get ready for game number one. Everyone's starting to load in right now. Which one of these drafts do you really favor? Both very strong drafts in their own right of what they really want to do. Is more of a push draft, one of these more of a team fight drafts. Which one do you favors here in the amateurs division? Now, I feel like sometimes they'll differ depending what division you're in, but in amateurs, which one of these drafts really screams this is one?
So far in amateurs, going for that pressure and push has really benefited all of the teams extremely well, whereas that team fight and late game oriented comps haven't seen quite as much success. So I'm gonna go ahead and lean for the V catGirls on this one. Their comp is just set up to let their backline just do what they do and carry. Having that AMC and Soul just dishing out damage all across the board. Here to set up those free knockups for the jungle. Obelix just getting free pulls on whoever the target is. And just Kepri. Scarab's Blessing is all you need. No other ability,
Yeah,
just Scarab's Blessing, and he's a great support. He can really turn around a team fight and make you just cry. I can attest to that. When I had to play against his Kepri in our game against him, I'm gonna be honest. That Scarab's Blessing really kind of ruined my day a little bit. It was it was not fun to fight against. So I am 100% expecting him to keep his backline alive here. The Serbs are going to have to really use that team fight setup to the best of their ability.
I definitely will. Let's find out if they can do it. Hop right on into game number 1. catGirls, Cerbs, amateur final starting right now here. Jiren still alongside me with Joy, of course. Jiren with me, as I mentioned, getting right on into the action right away. This is, as mentioned, going to be pretty high pressure team fighting. But the one thing I have to say for the Serbs is they do have the bug catcher or the bug. So surely that means this duel lane is just automatically won by the Serbs.
They do have the bug catcher, but are there any bugs to catch is the question. And the answer is yes. Khepri is in fact that little bug. They're going to have to shut him down as hard as they can. Unfortunately, Sol and Khepri is definitely going to have some just very solid early game pressure against that Yamoja Oleron. They're definitely going to be able to outpressure those early waves. They hit level 2 first, so they're going to be hitting a little bit harder as the next wave rolls in. Oleron is interestingly over in the jungle while the wave gets cleared. Not wanting to get aggressed on, it looks like, but he's definitely going to be trying to play that farm game as much as possible to catch up.
It almost looked like he was trying to get Mojo to level 2 there. He was like, I don't think you're going to hit it off this first wave. I'm going to sneak off the jungle right now. Just hang out for a little bit and see what happens. And we could see Reporter Sport wanted to get aggressive pretty early on with that dash in, but it didn't look like Telia was ready to follow up at all. As you see now, I'm starting to make his way over, so you could see that aggression go off once more. Look like they really want to go quite yet and go over to this Alpha RP. Manams is local, and is going to go ahead and back off and not try to pressure anything out too early on.
It'll be a little bit difficult for him to get that pressure on the dual lane since they do have those really early wards that Oleron did actually drop when he was over in that jungle. So he's definitely going to have that knowledge just a little bit sooner that there is danger nearby. So he does have the opportunity to get himself out of any dangerous situations. Unfortunately, the mid lane does not quite have those wards quite as far in, so she's going to have to be careful, but it is Charybdis.
Two Icy's got that Charybdis. They're able to just sneak himself away pretty quickly, but you got to be careful here at altitude. Want to get knocked up from Nam is going to make it an easy setup, even if you don't have that Gravity Surge quite yet. Rotation of buffs coming online, no aggression really from anybody yet. catGirls playing more so in that dual lane, could have potentially looked maybe for an invade on the next go round of some buffs, but instead they're going to back off. They're just going to keep going nice and slow. That's how generally game ones are going to play out here, Jiren. Just want to feel each other out, especially in best of fives. Don't want to overstep quite yet.
Like you said, this is going to be a best of 5 set. They've got quite a bit of time to study their opponents, adjust their strategies, and play to the absolute max capacity that they can. Especially since these are two teams that have done extremely well in their seasons. The V catGirls were rather dominant throughout the main season. The Serbs definitely looking pretty good themselves. Didn't really see a whole lot of hiccups. Trumped the King's Knights in the playoffs to come here. A lot of people thought the Knights were going to make it, but the Serbs decided, nah, I want that crown. This is going to be mine.
Want that big prize pool, man. I can't blame them. It was looking real tasty, too.
It might be spicy.
It was very spicy, so everyone's putting it all out here. Definitely, this best of 5 game 1 is going to really set the pace. You hear this argument all the time. You'll hear it from Aggro and Dolson. Which game is the most important one? Is it this first game and starting off with a lead? Or is it that second one? Make sure you can even up or take a bigger lead, do you think?
Personally, I'm a believer in game number 3 in a best of 5 set. Even if you lose the first 2, if you get a resounding victory or a big turnaround and shutdown on game number 3, that momentum swing can carry you. So getting those first 2 games is always important, but it's game number 3 that can really decide. If you get the 3-0 victory, obviously, that's pretty decisive. You win the set. If you set it from 2-0 to 2-1, you got a comeback starting up. Now you're starting to switch that momentum over into your court, and you can really start telling them, I ain't going down. I'm here to answer the call. Give me that crown.
That's fair enough. I haven't heard that one before. That was a new take on it. I like that one. You know, even if you're down, you're never out quite yet. Can still get that reverse sweep going on. We did have a gank in that left lane a little bit earlier on. General Telia was able to survive, has that soul 3 to separate to really just himself out of any danger that could be lurking around as high altitude. Really try to make an impact. Couldn't find anything quite yet, so really waiting to see where all this action is going to kick off. And I'm really surprised Noms hasn't tried to get into anything because he has no Willix. And this is one of those gods that likes to pressure out that early game just the same as the Erlang Shen, who we have seen be aggressive. So, what does Noms need to do to really elevate this pick?
Overall, to me it feels like he's just waiting just a teeny bit longer just to get that perfect setup so that they can get a very high impact type first blood. If they can drop that gold scorpion a little bit early, get the first blood, and then immediately rush over for that gold fury, that may be what the play is. And I wouldn't be entirely too surprised if that's exactly what he's waiting for, just waiting for that 0 to hero type moment.
Really just elevate your game at one point in time. They're going to start dropping this gold scope right now. Good call on that one after the blink play in mid didn't quite catch out top hat, so they're able to find another objective, which always can be better. You can build yourself a gold lead off that, and you can see they're already about 500 up right now, the catGirls are, so it's starting to work out for them very, very slowly as these objectives come out. Would be surprised if we do see that first split around it.
And we do actually see a little bit of a half-level lead in the jungle. So that is... I'm really starting to think Nams is waiting for that 0 to hero just massive first blood as we see a blanket from high altitude.
We missed it. Both ults go down. The Sanctified Fields is out. Soul trying to get out. Drops the ult. Gets into the Saporate. The Scarab is there. And the Blessing is on. Will not need it, though, because the Saporate is just so good, man. Was able to get out alive. Didn't have his beads up quite yet there either. So he really was living. But on the right side, that was the ultimate popped by Cerbs. Not going to be able to find anything else. Back and just kind of keep hanging out. Everyone playing skittish almost. They're making their plays, but also not overextending too much. Lawbringer gonna be able to get Uncle Fable out of danger for the moment as V-Start over here trying to make an impact with this Nike.
It's too icy. Who's coming around that corner. The Maw Hunger is already out and ready to go. Unfortunately, won't be any dinner for him tonight. He's gonna have to go hungry on that one.
Unfortunately, still starving. Gold Fury still looming off to the side. If we see some of these backs start coming through, could see that first jump out here for the catGirls. We know they want to play these objectives, but they can't do much if Talia takes too much damage here in this duel lane. It looks like they still want to try to get aggressive here. One misses from the Oleron. Knockup is good, and the auto trade is out, but you cannot win this, Talia. If you start missing autos, you have no health to begin with, and both of them don't want to take the fight anymore. He's still going to back off.
He may have missed a couple autos, but Soul is definitely pretty good at healing. Unfortunately, Uncle Fable may not be in quite the same situation.
Got four of them. Jump comes up and down. Knock up on the tier. Still healthy for the moment. Drop really, really low. Rivers Rebuke is out. Does not catch him mid. Nike gonna all back forward. He's trying to live as best he can. Stinger comes out now too. Beautiful Riptide will pull him right back in. And it's too icy. Will pick up your first blood in game number 1. The bug could fall as well. No Cerbs blessing for him. He'll have a really good abduct to get him out of danger. But that's gonna be your first blood.
What a way to start it off. That was a beautiful team coordination on to Uncle Fable. He was getting a little bit greedy, trying to go for that proxy, just getting whatever farm he could, and unfortunately, there was just a little bit too much of the Cerbs in the area code, and they shut him down a little bit early.
Quite catch the bug out either, but they can catch this Oleron right here. He's going to go up and down straight away. Nams will pick that one up. The Gold Fury is on the horizon now. Only Emoja is local. Only person that could stop it right now. This might go free unless we can see a big play out of top hat right here. Could we see a big Emoja steal? We'd have to lock him down. Nams is, and it will be the catGirls being able to secure that. It's time to run away, but Nams doesn't quite want to run away just yet. We'll finally start taking off now.
I gotta go back to that one for a second. General Talia and Nams over there trying to catch out Bug Catcher Line. That was beautiful coordination. General Talia dropped Supernova at just the right moment to catch the knockup and the root. And he just, yeah, Oleron just kind of disappeared.
I'll say he was separated.
You could also say General Talia was quite the star. His carry potential, you might even say he's the soul of their team.
Heart and soul, maybe? We'll have to see. He's got the
We're on
fire
Husk Recon.
in his soul. Okay, we're getting off this bit now. I'm done with this one. Draugr buff goes down as well now for General Talia. I'm surprised also we noticed that the T1 left has fallen. Bugcatcher did come up, knock down that tower, and was able to walk out before getting smacked around, of course, by Noms and General Talia. That was not fun for him, but he still has that pressure, right? Well, this could look pretty good.
He does have that tower down. Unfortunately, he is also a level down. He may have that little bit of an edge with the objective, but the farm is also going to transition for late game, so we'll have to see how that ends up turning out for him and his team.
He's about a full level down right now. You just saw them both tick over. The next one on that wave, Yemoja being caught out. Not quite gonna find the root was report or support. Looks like Top Hat will make their way out. But look at the left side of the map. Once more, Noms is back over here. Wants to find Bugcatcher out. Knockup is good. Beads were used from Bugcatcher, and the ultimate now has dropped. Sanctified Fields will keep the Oleron alive for right now. Everybody else is trying to get out of dodge as the rest of the Cerbs have made it local to try to find something.
And in that time, Uncle Fable is going to know that they aren't there. He's going to be able to go ahead and take some back camps, just secure some extra farm, and General Talia is going to be dropping that tier 1 tower. Unfortunately, we see 9 turns Blessing coming up from high altitude, but it's off the mark. Now, Supernova from Soul is going to end up dishing some damage. The rest of the team is here. Nomnoms will end up picking up the kill onto high altitude. That's going to be a big pickup for the catGirls.
That's tough, man. Missing that 9 turns blessing is really unfortunate. At that point, you know you're in a bad spot and it's time to get out of dodge. Couldn't quite make it out. He will fall. Right, Uncle Fable trying to find himself lead. He's got himself 2 levels now over here in the solo lane as the Yemoja has come over to visit. Top Hat wants to try to have a little bit of a party with Uncle Fable. They got him once, but I don't think they're going to be able to get him this time. Noms is starting to make his way over to make sure this blue buff goes the way of his solo laner, and the rest of the Cerbs know that probably is coming. They're backing off.
They're definitely smart enough to recognize, I don't see them on the map. Maybe we should back off. Especially since Uncle Fable is a level 13 tier. Getting tier in a CC lock is not exactly the easiest thing to do. Especially when he's levels above you.
Yeah, I mean, he's 5 over right now, that Yemoja, and he's still 2 up, as we just mentioned, over V-Star. Fable in a really good spot here on this tier right now. Once he starts making these rotations in, we saw it a little bit near that gold where he did make it to the mid laner, but once he's really starting to impact these fights, it's going to look really good for these catGirls. And you talked about it too earlier. These high pressure comps have done wonders for the majority of these amateur teams, whereas these team fight ones haven't quite made it to fruition in most of their games.
And as you say that, V-Start is going to be proxying wave, but Noms is in the area code, and we'll get that gravitational pull to try and secure kill, as Fable is getting collapsed on in the same manner.
Fable's up on that blue buff, trying to live as right now. Gravity Surge was used, but V-Start was able to make it out, still holding on to that ultimate. Might be able to use it here to try to lock down Uncle Fable. Lawbringer will get him out for the moment. The jump in as well. Altitude's got him in. This time the 9 turns blessing is good. Sentinel Zeus will come down as well, and V-Start will be credited with that kill. Pyromancer up next for the Cerbs, but there are still some catGirls lurking in the area. Could look good for potential steal. Looks like the damage is coming out. Any potential steal. The catGirls will steal it away, but Erlang into the backline now trying to find Noms. Realize this is a bad idea. He heads out. River's Rebuke dropped and fallen, but catGirls steal away the Pyromancer.
That was actually a beautiful steal. They hadn't even really thrown anything out until the last possible second, and it was more than enough to give them the objective. Beautiful heads-up play.
Great job, and that keeps their lead pretty high now, because it was starting to dwindle just a little bit right there, and then that still brings it right back up. So they're sitting in a really good spot. Oni Fury has made its way onto the map. I'm sure this is where everyone's looking next.
Oh, absolutely. We see the Cerbs are already grouping on it. Nike is hot on her way from the mid lane. Unfortunately, the V catGirls aren't anywhere nearby. They're going to be looking for General Talia to drop in Supernova to try and steal it, as it's already quarter HP.
This should be almost completely gone. Supernova comes over. Cerbs will get it, but D-Glam will pick up high altitude right away. AMC trying to get his little B self out of there. And a beautiful Scared blasting will keep him alive for just a moment, but brings him right back into the middle of the fight. Aegis goes off, gets him out. General Telly on the other side of things, catching out Bug Catcher Land. He'll go down. Diego comes back and picks up its 2 Icy as well. A double kill for the B-Man. Could he get a third one right here? He will find the 3. He's got 3 of them. Moving out, looking for the 4th. Don't think he'll get close enough to get V-Start. He'll go ahead and head back. Uncle Fable keeping up the pressure and could find the potential kill. Not until that Sentinel Zeus comes out and he'll get out.
What a beautiful turnaround. The V catGirls may have lost the objective, but they still got quite a big pickup instead. Not only
Gosh, look at
did
him.
all 5 members survive the fight, but they managed to get
Fire.
4 kills out of it.
And
What
they're
a
on fire.
beautiful play.
They're on fire. Jerry, they're on fire. They're quite literally on the fire.
I want to
giant.
talk about the
Can't
turnaround.
help. It's going down fast. Diego could fall here to the fire giant if he's not very careful. But they will go ahead and get it. 15 minutes in, V catGirls picking up the fire giant right after a great team fight.
What is even happening? I just wanted to talk about how great of a turnaround it was, and the V catGirl said, "Hold my beer, watch this." I didn't even have time to talk about it.
I can't believe they went right over the fire. That was a fantastic call.
That took some serious plums. That was really risky, but man, did it pay out. A 15.5-minute fire giant, and the V catGirls have it around their belt. Wow.
The next thing is here, Jared. They got to use this fire giant. It's one thing to pull a fire giant sub 20 minutes and get it. It's like, okay, cool, we did that. But now you got to use it. Go knock down the rest of these towers. We need to see the catGirls push this. They have a massive lead at this point, and they're grouped up, ready to go. But you can see on the other side of the map, Noms is over there, making sure Bugcatcher doesn't get to do anything. Look at the Cerbs. They're trying to re-split push the map down on the catGirls. They're saying, okay, we see you with the fire giant. We're going to go knock towers down.
Grading towers for towers. Unfortunately, the V catGirls know not everybody is here. That solo side bird is now exposed. If they are really feeling ballsy, they might just pull that instead of the towers.
Really should. The backs are starting to come through right now. Oleron's not there either. They have the advantage, and they have their ADCs there as well. Nike jump to the backside. Sentinel Zeus comes out. The bird still stands for the moment, but a double fearless from Uncle Fable will get one of them. Get ready to General Talia. Lawbringer gets him out for the moment, but the bug is caught inside, has a Scarab Blessing. He's going to hold on to it and say, my life is forfeit. No need for me to be there. So Knob's trying to go back in on Bugcatcher, but they do end up getting the bird there, Jiren, and they do get out with the majority of their team.
Not only did they secure the bird, they traded 1 for 1. The report or the support may have fallen. The bug is down, caught by the bug catcher, but they did manage to catch out high altitude. He's not going to be Soren anymore. He's going to be back on planet Earth, right back to Fountain.
Not a grayscale right now, so maybe he'll be able to take off right here and get something started for the Cerbs. But that fire giant still on the waist of the catGirls. Oh, still 2 more towers left to knock down. But the catGirls more interested in farming for the moment, trying to get up to that level 20 mark and hopefully getting reporter support close to that level 17 to upgrade their starter items, because during those will make a huge difference once they get there.
Oh, it absolutely will make a massive difference. Not to mention, it's also Kepri. He has Scarbs Blessing anyway. It doesn't matter what level he is, as long as he's above 5. Reporter support knows exactly how and when to drop that. He's going to be able to make a difference in a team fight no matter what.
How does that feel, when you get to look at your support and be like, hey, as long as you're over level 5, I don't care what point of the game we're in. As long as you're over 5, we're winning it.
Very true.
That's just
Reporter
awesome.
support is, yeah, he's really rocking the Kepri. I do love Top Hat on the emoji though. He's actually really showing some really good technical skill with it. The Rivers or Buttes have been really good. Unfortunately, it's a tier on that last fight under the bird. He can still kind of just ult out of that. Lawbringer comes out and he's away. Kind of unfortunate, but it was still fantastic wall. It did catch reporter support out. So overall, I mean, we saw Top Hat was half a level above the Kepri.
Yeah, he was. Top Hat's been looking really good on this mode. You're right. Those Rivers Buttes have been very clean. Missed just a few of I mean, honestly, at that point, it's gamed if somebody clipping over the edge of your wall and you're just looking at it like, okay, come on now. But the Cerbs were pressuring out the Pyromancer, had brought Diego and Uncle Fable back to their side. Now the Gold Fury is up. I don't know if they know that General Talia is still over here. He could look for another Supernova over the wall. Uncle Fable also in a position to try to do some damage. He's going to the back line. He's got one. Beads will come out from It's Too Icy, but now his Maw is under the ground. He can't get back out. Ult will come through. General Talia will pick up the bug catcher. He will fall, so the bug is safe to step up. Diego picks one up now, too. Yamoja locked in. D-Glim's got the double kill, and the Gold Fury to follow if they choose so, but they want the bird.
They want everything. They may not have taken the Gold Fury, but they're going to take your life and your bird. And poor high altitude, he does get the blink out just in the nick of time. He will keep his life for just a moment more, but oh man, is this one way to start it off. Game number 1 so far, 2 birds down, and it's only 20.5 minutes in. catGirls getting an explosive start to the set.
Great, and we talked about it, Jerry. High pressure comps have been working for these AMA teams, and catGirls are rocking it really well. Sure, it started pretty slow. No one really wanted to overstep right away, but as soon as that first blood hit, the switch flipped, and the catGirls put the gas pedal down, and they're continue to hold it down as they move back over to this fire giant.
Yeah, the catGirls got first blooded. Uncle Fable may have been the first to fall, but as soon as that happened, you can physically feel them sitting up in their seats. They switched to their best gamer socks, and they just cranked it to 11. It is 10-3 right now. They just secured another Pyromancer. 21 minutes in, they're starting a Fire Giant again. The Cerbs aren't in a position to contest this. There's nobody even in the area code. The duo side bird is down. The solo side bird just now respawned. Fire Giant falling to the catGirls for the second time this match. It is dangerous for the Cerbs right now. catGirls have this game to lose, but right now their level difference is just oppressive right now. It's going to be really difficult for the Cerbs.
It's going to be really, really hard. I'm surprised that they are still standing by this right Phoenix. They're starting to move over to mid lane now, which is what I expected to see us knock down this last tower, make that Titan just a little bit weaker, and really start looking to slam it in. They still have those fire waves pouring down. They have all the time in the world, Jiren, to play with. They just picked up that fire giant. They have a 4-1 split going, but it looks like they're going to send D-Glim off for that right side as well with Uncle Fable, who's already in the back line messing around with the Oleron. The bird falls. Fable's done his job. He's able to Lawbringer right back out, but they have 3, so that mid bird is looking pretty tasty for the catGirls. They can step in at any point. Riptide once more from top hat. I feel like I haven't said that enough this game, but a double Fearless out of Uncle Fables puts the backliners on the back foot. Looks like General Talia is taking a lot of damage, so it makes it a little bit harder. Firewave starting to pour under the throne room right now, starting to do damage to that Titan. This Phoenix is under duress.
catGirls are sitting in a pretty good situation. They may be a little bit low on health, but with that Fire Giant regen, they can easily heal this back. And it's going to take a beautiful Sanctified Field to really turn it around.
Great start from Budcatcher right away. They pick up Noms, and the Budcatcher's trying to find the Khepri now. Starts swatting them all down. Nike blinks forward. Still does not have a Sentinel Zeus, but does have a Bulwark proc to keep them out. That mid Phoenix still stands here for the Cerbs. Beautiful play out of Budcatcher.
That was a very effective defense. They may have lost the solo side bird once more, but considering it is only at quarter HP, I don't think that was a bad defense at all. That was a fantastic defense. Successfully defended the Fire Giant, even picked up a 1-for-0 kill trade.
That's awesome if you're the Cerbs. Really off the back of that Sanctified Fields. Caught pretty much everybody in that no play zone. They're able to capitalize off it, really push the catGirls out. And you're right, that right Phoenix like, okay, we lost it. It was like 2 health anyway. Fable was already in the back and around Budcatcher, so that one was just forfeit. There was fire waves. The fact that they were to hold on to that mid Phoenix speaks wonders to this defense of the Cerbs. They can still hang in this game and bring it back. They just need like 3 more defenses like that.
All I'm saying is, Budcatcher land and top hat. Sanctified Field, as soon as it's getting ready to fall, River's Rebuke comes out. Anybody who couldn't escape from that Sanctified Field is just going to get trapped and decimated. And we just saw that. They could not do anything. catGirls were just landlocked. And now they're going to try it one more time. With the Cerbs
Phoenix has respawned. Keep your eye out for that. Rivers Rebuke also on cooldown, so you got to be careful for that. Uncle Fable's taking a lot of damage. His Bulwark procs. The Sanctified Field comes out once more. Big Rivers Rebuke. Not quite ultimate yet. Sorry, Sanctified Field's what I was looking for. Is Zeus comes down. A lot of low health bars. Cerbs having to back off once more. catGirls use a Med Cloak to try to restrain up. Knobs pretty low health. They can look to siege this, but that left Phoenix might fall in the meantime. Tear straight in the back line. Uncle Fable as well. 4-man! Holy cow, what a play right there at a high altitude. He might fall for it, but it worked out for the moment. Phoenix will fall. He's going to go down as well. Fable getting credit with that kill, but how about that?
That was amazing
right there. That was insane. At this point, it's all over. Bugcatcher, he goes down now too. It's too icy, soon to follow. He gets out for the moment. Up, down goes V-Star, and down into the grayscale. He will go. Diego credited with that one. The abduct comes through. Top Hat goes down. It's too icy left to defend against 5. And honestly, he's not there. Triple kill for General Tullian. Game number 1 going to the catGirls.
All right. Say what you want. High altitude, most pog play of game number 1. That was insane. He may have lost the game, but that 4-man taunt with the 9 turns blessing. Wow, that was hot stuff.
I literally forgot how to talk. I saw that. I was
Me
like,
too.
what just happened? That was insane. Super good play from him.
I
Unfortunately, can't turn it all the way back around, though.
saw him blink in. I saw all the members of the catGirls immediately turn on him, and I'm like, uh-oh, he's dead. And only after the duration ended and he died did I realize he had taunted all of them. They didn't turn on him willingly. They were forced to do his bidding.
It's tough. Unfortunately, it
Wow.
doesn't work out for high altitude. Backline for the catGirls look really good. Both General Tellia and D-Glim, both 6-0. Feeling really good if you're them, working with those high pressure comps. Jaren, do you like what they did, or do you think they need to switch anything? Or is it really up to the Cerbs to really be like, okay, no more high pressure comps?
I feel like the Cerbs could still argue to go in for a similar comp since, let's be honest, Sanctified Field and Rivers Rebuke were really punishing in this game. They were looking absolutely incredible with those team fights. Pretty much the entire game, their coordination was on point. The only issue that they had was they were lacking a little bit of levels in that gold. And I think that is entirely what killed them. Between that 7 to 19-minute mark, they just lost a little bit too much gold and XP. That farm really made the difference. So honestly, I think they could argue going either way, but they may just lean for that high pressure comp.
We'll have to find out what they elect to do when we get to game number 2. But for right now, we're going to go to a short break and we'll be right back with picks and bans for that game number 2. Welcome back, everybody, to Quack and Smite League between the amateur finals of the catGirls and the Cerbs. Going into game number 2 right now. catGirls up on top 1-0. They're right back into that first pick slot. Killjoy still here with Jiren Lamb. And Jiren, do you like this decision by the Cerbs to go with this pick number 2?
In all honesty, I think it can work for them. They were able to pick up Oloran and Yamoja last time in their top 2 picks, which are very powerful. Even though it didn't pan out in the end, I still think they do have the ability to get something good out of the picks and bans if they play their cards right.
I'd even hate if they went right back to it, go right back to that Oleron and Umoja if they could get it. I wouldn't be surprised if the catGirls try to take anything away. Band's looking relatively the same. Geb, Odin, both gone. Kamazat's Achilles, both gone. Not really anything changing up quite yet. It's going to be these last bands. Artio going to be the third one out for the catGirls. We'll see what Cerbs elect to go with. A lot of picks still up.
Yeah. I'm looking to see if they're going to end up banning the Cleo, because that could certainly change the paradigm quite a bit.
Really could. They could look to ban out maybe the Oleron or something like that, but instead go
They
and
get rid of
ban
the
out the
soul.
soul. Very interesting. So it does leave the Kleina open, does leave the Emoja and the Oleron back open. We'll see if the Cerbs get to run back that dual lane, which honestly looked pretty good once it got going. They had to get online, of course, first, but now they don't have to deal with that soul pressure. So it could look pretty good for them.
Their early pressure was not quite where you would want it ideally, but it was not bad at all in the late game. It was actually fragging out extremely hard in the late game, if you ask me.
It was looking really good, but Emoji going to go right
Tremble
over to report
beneath
or
the
support, and
waves.
that leaves the B-Man to go this
My
time
victory shall be
into the
sweeter than
hands of
honey.
its two icy. Oleron going to get locked right back in for Bugcatcher Land, who piloted it very well last game. Still very dangerous backline right away for the Cerbs, and I'm loving this start. But General Talia going to lean on into that Heimdallr pick as he's going to go ahead and look at that one for their second pick. Honestly, Jiren, I think they need some more damage in that soul lane to really round out this top 3.
That would certainly make a nice addition. If they're able to pick up a solo lane that has really high damage potential, that could absolutely turn around somebody like a Guan Yu, for example, especially into that Oleron, that could
Face the
really
bitter
set them
winds
up
of
nicely.
Niflheim!
And that AMC2, neither of them really having a good escape. One's just a little bit faster than the other, base movement speed. Gilgamesh is what they're hovering, and gonna lock it in for their top 3. I assume this is going over to Noms in the jungle.
I would not be upset to see a Gilgamesh jungle. He is definitely very effective in the jungle, and Noms was doing a fantastic job on the Willix last time. I really think he has the potential to pull off a Gilgamesh jungle.
I think it'll look really good out of Noms knowing how
That
he
may
plays.
be
Just knowing
your
the players themselves
undoing.
shouldn't be anything out of their pocketbook or anything like that. But the cleanup, we talked about it earlier, not getting banned out in those top phase, gets all the way to that 6 pick finally locked in for high altitude. We'll see how this goes. It's pairing alongside the Oleron and the AMC. This is bringing a lot of damage. Could bring some pretty good early game for them as well.
Absolutely. I do love to see that Daji banned out. Having that Yamoja and Heimdall with Gilgamesh, being able to bait out somebody's beats, can't talk, could be very, very effective. Seeing the Khepri get banned is a little bit interesting since they really rocked that one hard last game. But banning out the Fafnir as well to prevent that massive attack speed stim for the entire team, that can definitely make a difference.
Oh yeah, and especially with the emoji locked in, you don't really want that Kepri on the other side of things. Reporter Sport can play it, and he goes, "Hey, I got Emoji this time. I'm good rocking this. Let's get the bug out of here. It'll stop Bug Catcher Land from probably having a second passive activate for him, so people KO that mark. Are they going to look for their low support here? I would assume they're going to lock that solo lane. I would like, honestly, them to pick up a Guan Yu for themselves just because if the other team gets it, that Oleron
Deny
AMC is
it.
going to have a hard time.
Yeah, just deny it from them. Don't let them have access to something as powerful as that.
Would look really good for here. And it honestly wouldn't do too bad either into this comp. Might get locked in by Emoji, but can kind of chase down Heimdall a little bit. Has an easier way out of that Gilgamesh ultimate as well. CC immunity pretty safe in the lane. Has a little bit more healing too to try to combat that Emoji. Look really good, especially with the Chalk being banned out. They were able to limit one of those.
They could also pick up something such as the Nike for that massive slow on the Sentinel of Zeus to really survive everything, or even
True.
pick up the Osiris that was banned out last time for the catGirls, because Fable, as we know, excels at that pressure and can get that lead. And Osiris, definitely a guy you think of when you're playing around early pressure.
Yeah, he definitely rocks that early pressure, that's for sure. But it looks like they're going to lean over to their support pick here and lock in that Athena. So now it's up to the catGirls
Wisdom
to
shall be
really
my shield.
use their big brains, see what's open, and finally lock in their mid laner and their question mark. Could this be a solo lane Gilgamesh? We'll have to find out. So they're going to lock in a jungle or a solo lane. We're really hoping it's this Guan Yu, honestly. Or Cthulhu. Cthulhu
Ooh,
works. That works.
that's
That works.
actually massive into an Oleron, though.
Sick. That's
I
really
do like
sick.
that.
It's a good
I have
pickup.
not seen Cthulhu in quite some time, so this is actually really exciting.
This is really good for them as well. You're right. It runs down that Oleron, and then Persephone is going to be the other lock-in. So pretty
Ooh,
standard
None will
draft
flee my
out of the
craft.
catGirls this
catGirls
game, not
picking
running
up
down that
team
double
fight.
EC.
They're picking up a heavy team fight.
They're ready to rock down a team fight. They want to get going, group up, and start running it down. Whereas this time the Cerbs kind of have that high pressure that we were talking about that the amateur teams really
Wait
rock
a
with.
minute.
So we'll have to see. They need to pick up an 80 or what do we
Wait a
say they
minute.
needed? Jungler? What's up?
I just noticed something. A slight shift. That is probably going to be Gilgamesh jungle, and that's going to be Persephone for Uncle Fable. Uncle Fable is going back to the mid lane now.
See. Okay, that'll be pretty spicy.
Therianicus
Just a
has
little bit of
joined back.
roster, a little bit of a roster swap up here now for the Cat Girls. So up 1-0, and maybe somebody had to leave, so this will work out for them. Kind of have a new refresh. The last pick in will be that Mulan. So the pretty high
Your
pressure into the
chances to
solo lane
win the
could
fight
try to
have
limit this
diminished.
Cthulhu.
It'll definitely be a lot of potential to shut down Cthulhu's early game, but overall, I don't think that's what they're the most worried about here. The Cthulhu is going to be dangerous late game, but Uncle Fable on his famous Persephone, he's got a pretty dang high win rate on it so far in QSL. It'll definitely be a challenge to try and shut that down as early as physically possible.
Here's my next question for you, Jerry. We've got the Uncle Fable Persephone against an AMC Oleron. Which way are you leaning right off the bat after seeing all 5 of these drafts?
I think that's more of a question of, are you a betting man? So far, Uncle Fable has yet to lose on Persephone, and I think she actually has a pretty decent matchup into an AMC. Popping that ult can really force AMC into an uncomfortable position and can bait out actives a little bit early. So I think they can 100% play around that early pressure that they're going to be able to get in the mid lane and just kind of snowball from it a little bit, which is what they excel at and can use that to transition into some team fights and early Gold Fury pulls.
Very true. We saw it last game. They did look for those early objectives, able to knock down that Scorpion pretty much right after it spawned, and then came right back to that Gold Fury. Now with Noms on a Gilgamesh here to the jungle for him, trying to pressure out this mid lane AMC. He's got a pretty good matchup to try to start snowballing with the help of Uncle Fable, as you mentioned. Scrap's going to be really good to lock everybody down, so we'll have to see how it really looks for them here in this mid lane. But what do you really like about this Cerbs draft that kind of screams they can still win this and bring it back?
Me, when I look at the Cerbs comp, I see a lot of early pressure and aggression. Obviously, AMC, he kind of relies on going for that early pressure. That's kind of his bread and butter. That's just what he does. You've got Mulan in the solo, especially against somebody like Cthulhu, who does not have much early game at all. So I'm pretty confident in saying Mulan's going to have the early game advantage in the solo lane. You've got
Well,
Cleo in the jungle. When we're talking about jungles, Cleo, in my mind, is by far one of the better jungles out there right now, especially since Camazot's got banned.
this is true. We'll have to find out how the pressure goes. We're getting right on into game number 2. Catgirls going against the Cerbs. We'll see how all these little predictions that we've talked about will play out. You're seeing the cleanout right there on your screen, getting banned out last game, getting through this game into the hands of High Altitude, who played an early long shot and quite well. The nice little 4-man 9 turns blessing. We'll see if he's able to do something similar on this pick, but maybe earlier on, of course, Jared. We saw pretty much the last play of the game was that sick 4-man pull. And we'll have to see if he's able to start it up a little bit earlier on. That looks like a little bit of a dual lane slip up there. I don't know if you caught that. That hog might have come through just a little too late. Don't know if Reporter Support will catch level 2 off this wave.
It was a little bit on the late side, but overall, I feel like getting that early level 2 for your ADC could also be the play that Reporter Support was going for. He does still have his 3, and that portal is going to be massive.
Oh, another good one.
Oh, Top Hat is extremely low. No beads for him. He only has med, so he's going to have to be very careful of those portals that can really send him back to the Shadow Realm.
Really good Riptides out of Reporter Support so far early on in this game. If that's what's to come, this is going to be a very quick game, Jerry. And if he can put a lot of people out of position, it's going to look really good, especially with these two in the mid lane right now, Nums and Uncle Fable being able to follow up a bit. But right now, they're taking a lot of damage. High Altitude and 2 Icy really showing off this early game prowess of cleaning an AMC.
Reporter Support picked up the emoji, said, nah. Let me show you how it's done. Those Riptides early on, from the start, are dangerous, and they were extremely close to being downright lethal.
Well,
First blood going in the mid lane.
Gonna be a first blood here for High Altitude on top of Uncle Fable. This renowned Persephone for Uncle Fable will fall first. Cerbs on the board. Really good start for them. We'll see if they're able to take this lead and do something with it. You know, we're gotta see these amateur teams. They love to get these high pressure comps and run with them. This is the perfect time.
Uncle Fable has gotten first blooded twice now in a row. Is it script? It's scripted.
Could be. You know, it really could be. Nom's taking a lot of pressure away from its 2 Icy for the moment. Really nice little double taunt over here on the duo side of things. And Riptide to get them out to safety. Looking back to that mid lane, it's not looking too good for catGirls early on quite yet. Looks like an early rotation now from the Cerbs solo laner to try to make an impact on these back camps. The blue buff invade is going to happen. Nams is getting quite low, and he could fall, and he will go down to V-Star, who rotated over, smack down that kill. High Altitude still looking for this blue buff invade. Uncle Fable and Sterlinicus are still local to try to steal it away. Will not happen. It'll go over to the Cerbs, and they're able to get out of dodge.
Definitely a very impactful rotation from the Cerbs. They're picking up that early pressure. They realized from the last game, getting those early kills and getting the extra farm early on can really turn that massive difference. Even when your team fight is on point, just like theirs was last game, it can still be detrimental to fall behind.
Well, to make sure that they can stay ahead with this lead and keep it rocking up over 1,000 already here in the early game. It's a really good start for the Cerbs. Pressure comp doing its job so far, so we're just going to see, make sure the catGirls can really recognize it. Be safe. They do have some safety in these picks. Noms has a good leap to get away. Fable's got a nice little jump. Talia, of course, on a Heimdall, which is probably one of the safest hunters you can't play next to the Cerbs, but he's going to get pulled right in. Knockup comes back. Noms is here and finds a lot of damage. Athena will get kicked a little bit away. Top Hat's going to run away, trying to get out with his life, but it looks like Bugcatcher might turn it around on top of Noms. Auto's not quite connecting. The one comes down from the sky. One won't connect from the other one. General Telia will pick up Bugcatcher. The ultimate comes through at the perfect time, but the archers will take down Noms. That's probably the best spot for him, but give the double kill to General Telia to tie it right back up.
Giving all that XP and the kills to Heimdall, but he's not out of the neck of the woods just yet. Cleo's here to cause some trouble.
A lot of damage coming through. I'll tell you, not really in a good spot quite yet. Knockup comes through once more. Any abilities will be it, and the ultimate will clean it up. High Altitude takes down General Telia and shuts down this Heimdall before he gets out of here. And that's why having 2 charge on your ultimates is, by the way, really good.
It's just a little bit on the helpful side. Tearing the Veil really tearing General Telia a new one. Absolutely made the difference there. That extra damage was more than enough. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure he was out.
Yeah, he was definitely out. Or if that Bifrost might have been in just a different spot, it would have gotten him out too. But it was a really good Bifrost, nevertheless. Got him outside of that damage from the moment. Blue buff is going to be reconfirmed now for the catGirls. So Sarlonicus feeling a little bit happier now after losing that second blue buff. Gets his third one back. And, you know, on those Guardian Soul Inners, you kind of need that blue buff.
Yeah, especially somebody like Cthulhu, getting that mana regen and the cooldown reduction, I must say, is also extremely important for somebody like him. Unfortunately, the Cerbs not dropping any pressure. They're already taking the fire side Scorpion.
I really want to play around this right side of the map. I really like this idea. Is now they're getting aggressive once more in the mid lane. Not going to be able to connect with the taunt as Reporter Sport will get himself out of there. But Bugcatcher Land's going to fall. The General tell you. Let me tell you something about this solo kill. It's going to elevate this Heimdall to 3 kills. All of them now for the catGirls ADC. But he's going to have to get chased out once more. Guess who's coming back from high altitude? Doesn't want him to get anything else. He's in the wall. He's going to come right back out. The clap is in. Not enough damage right yet. Tearing the Veil doesn't connect on the first one. He's going to be able to live for the moment. Not going to get out high altitude. Will fall. Reporter support. Let's pick that one up. And General Talia lives to see another day.
Oh man, that was just a perfectly placed River's Rebuke. That really goes to show just how much of an impact a Yemoja can make. Not too many supports can quite literally wall off the entire lane, especially against somebody who can go into and through walls.
It's really good. You know, if you're General Talia, you're like, oh man, guys, I am dead here. Oh, I juked Terran Veil. I'm still probably dead here. And then Reporter Sport's like, I got you, Chief. Don't worry. Throws up River's Rebuke, and man just gets to stand there and walk away. But the one that will not be walking away is Noms. He's going to fall the V-Start. And another one to that Mulan's kill total. Oh my goodness, Erlenicus, what happened to you, my friend? You have to be very careful because there are still guys over here, and they could look to dive this tower on him.
They're going to go ahead and deny those backcamps, though. Noms is not alive to try and defend them, and Cthulhu is nowhere near in a position to try and contest that. But he's going to lose another blue buff.
That is very tough, to say the least. He's still here, by the way. Just finally gets his back off right when High Altitude decided he wanted to really get in there, try to make a mess of things. Cerbs still up around that 1,000, probably about 1,500 gold right now, but there was the realms that came out from the Heimdall earlier on got sent through somewhere. He's alive. I don't really know how. Man's has to be in grayscale at this point in time. The bubble will connect, so he'll get out with just the tiniest bit of health. I'm really curious how much he had at that first point. Surviving that through the realms, just making it out alive. And he's like, all right, cool. I can live to see another day. Let me back really quick and come back for this Gold Fury, because that's where everyone's going.
He survived just by the chin on his teeth. Oh man, Winds of Shamash came out. For 7, he tried to get that the cripple, excuse me, onto that wall, but Kleena is able to escape just in time, and now Noms is in some danger, getting collapsed on by 4 members of the Cerbs. A blink in from Mulan, Divine Master being popped. He's gonna end up falling to V-Start. And now Gold Fury is in the sight of the Cerbs.
Looking good right here. Could look to take this up. No one really around to stop it. Realistically, they're going to have 2 people here to steal this Gold Fury. Cthulhu's still on the right side of the map. General Talia still coming out of base. But the Gold Fury burning kind of slowly. It's now at about that half mark. They're giving it up. They're moving on to farm the rest of the map to keep themselves from falling even farther behind. This is a really good call here, Jiren. You got to make sure you're staying on level if you can.
And I saw the pings come out in the backcamps too. They're pinging. Cerbs is right there, and those backcamps are up and tasty.
Hit him up, that's for sure. Cthulhu's walking back in there, Squid Boys, grabbing him up. Nom 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 nom. Go ahead and make sure he's
Like
trying to stay even. It is a slurp, probably. Noms probably goes nom 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 nom.
Most likely. That's my guess.
Anyway, going back
last game.
the game, of course. Fire Giant gonna be spawning up here. Just a few moments of time. You know, it spawns at that 10-minute mark. So this Pyromancer could be looked at. The Cerbs who already have this pretty good lead look to try to get more of it. Noms once more in the jungle. Maybe he's gonna try to find something. Gets a drop kick in there. It looked like onto the Athena. The taunt comes back through, and he's gonna be pulled right back in. Clean, not gonna connect quite yet. Up and over the wall goes Nom. He'll be into the safe hands of his teammates, but that Pyromancer might be headed towards the clutches of the Cerbs.
The Serbs are all there in position to take it right away, and they do still have a little bit of a lead everywhere that they can, except for ADC. So they're going to be using that to their advantage to go ahead and pull that Pyro immediately. But a beautiful return from Bugcatcher Land.
Woo.
Popping
Beautiful.
and Sanctified Field gets the solo kill.
We're gonna go ahead and pick up that Pyromancer on the back end of that solo kill. It's all going right now here for the Serbs in game number 2, getting themselves quite a big lead. Now finding themselves pressure pretty much everywhere on the map after that solo kill. Front the bug catcher, Stephanie taking a lot of damage, then dashing forward, trying to find the taunt. Will get it, but a really good return ultimate for use for that CC immunity will get them out of danger for this moment of time. Uncle Fable doing great work on this pick so far. As jungle 1v1 happening on the right side, and Noms is not getting the better end of it.
Unfortunately, all that pressure that the catGirls saw in the previous game is not there for them anymore. The Serbs are absolutely turning it around and shoving it right back in their face. Beautiful jump under tower. Noms getting picked up, but River's Rebuke and forcing Beastar to take a long path to try and escape the damage. But Cthulhu is here, bullying in from Sarionicus, popping that ult, descend into madness. The sky is falling around them, but will they be able to survive?
Will them not get a kill quite yet, so the Serbs doing a really good job of negating that large ultimate. Looks like Top Hat still trying to get aggressive. A pull back in onto It's Too Icy from Resport Support will force the beads out of the B-Man. Getting really good damage off onto General Talia, but look out, look who's here. It's the bug catcher, and he's seen quite a few bugs in that mid lane that he would like to squash. He started to run away, so he's able to go back over to those oracles, try to pick these up, start looking for their next big objective.
He is looking for farm, and he's looking to swat these bugs out of their face. He is a level down, but that does not mean he's out. As we saw that solo kill just a couple minutes ago onto General Talia, he is not out of this fight at all. And that is especially great news since the rest of his team is ahead. Except for support, apparently. That is just breaking the rules all kinds of ways. Last game we saw the catGirls getting ahead quite a considerable amount, but they were down in support. Same thing in this game. catGirls are down, but their support is ahead.
They just switched it up, man. That's all they gotta do. Just switch it up just a little bit to really get that aggression going. We talked about it. You know, these early pressure comps and these high pressure comps are what's working. Everything was working last game for them with their team fights. They just didn't have a lot of that early pressure. They've really picked it up this time, though, putting AMC and Kleena and Mulan into the mix while keeping that dual lane pretty much where they had it last time. Stinger's not going to connect on the Persephone. Dash forward, force out the beads on top of the taunt. Looks like the return could be coming out of Reporter Sport. Has another beautiful Riptide, of course, but won't get any follow-up damage quite yet. It's going to be okay right now. Only the beads being lost by Uncle Fable.
It is definitely a nice pickup for the Serbs to pick up that beads a little bit early. Kleena lurking in the wall, waiting to dish some damage as we see this Primal Fury getting ready to spawn very, very shortly. And both teams are making the effort to come over for this rotation.
It's going to be our first 5-on-5 here, Jared, in this game. We'll really get to see who's got this better team fight. Sure, the Serbs are up about 2k gold. Can they team fight well together? That's going to be the real question. It's actually about 2.5k, so really strong right now. Nothing to scoff at quite yet. Gold Fury spawned down to right now. He start trying to do his work to zone, but no one's on it quite yet. He's starting to be picked up right now. Looks like Talia is the closest one into position. He's got vision on it right now, but it's burning very, very fast. He's going to have to look for a steal right here. And the catGirls are going to go ahead and steal away the Gold Fury. Down comes Sanctified Field to try to keep the rest of the team alive and get them out. A lot of damage is happening, but it looks like Noms is the one that's trying to run. He gets out, but it's Sarionicus up in the center. Madness, huge knock-up from the solo laner. And the rest of the Serbs are on the run. Can they all get away? We start trying to find some damage. Everyone's low. Fable's got one. I'm looking to try to find the second one. Won't quite get it. Icy is the only one that's fallen so far. Rotating rack around is General Talia. Missing the auto quite yet. V-Star blinking to the back line. Gonna grab Fable. Sirloin gonna pick up high altitude. This is all even back up here after the catGirls steal away the Gold Fury.
Definitely a beautiful turnaround from the catGirls. Not only were they down in levels to start it off, and steal the Gold Fury, but they picked up a 1-for-2 trade. That is a massive turnaround for them. Their team fight comp really showing its strength here. And they're going to be using that to go right for this Pyromancer.
It really is all evened up. Sure, the gold fury or the gold lead is still about 1,000 for the Cerbs. The experience lead is a lot closer, if not already ahead for the catGirls now. And adding this Pyromancer right there with them is going to bring this game pretty much back to even, if of course they're able to get it. There are still Cerbs around to try to steal this one away, and there's only one near the front of it trying to keep them all zoned off, but don't really have that damage from their backliners, whereas the Cerbs are now going to pick it back up as they have their damage from a backliner here.
The Cerbs do certainly have the numbers advantage right now while the catGirls are still trying to farm up. And unfortunately, catGirls aren't going to be able to contest this one very effectively. It will end up falling to the Cerbs. They tried to go for the steal with the Winds of Shamash, but it did not work the way that they were hoping. No objective steal for you this time. And a beautiful Defender of Olympus coming out onto Bugcatcher Len, and a taunt from Athena will force Heimdall very, very low. The Bifrost comes through as he's just about to die. Perfectly timed, getting him just out, but everybody's looking to collapse on this one. And, oh my god, Uncle Fable just deleting Bugcatcher Len.
Promise he was there. I promise there was an Oleron in that Persephone ult for about half a second before they got eviscerated off the map. But really good play from General Tully.
BFF! BFF, dude!
He
BFF!
forced everything. Grabbed
Oh
the
my
beads
god.
off the Oleron, got the ultimate as well. Only lost his beads, ultimate, and Aegis, so he's like, well, this kind of stinks. But then all of a sudden, Fable comes in and is like, let me show you why I got 100% win rate on this god in competitive for the QSL.
No, you.
Bop.
Oh my
Gone.
god. Enemy missing. Good lord. What was that damage? He was at
A
almost
lot.
full health.
That was a lot of damage. It was quite a bit. Right tower barely hanging on by a thread right now. Mid tower has a little bit of health left into it. Left side also pretty close to falling. catGirls are in a really good spot to get a lot of passive gold on this map, which could elevate them to a gold lead if they so choose to get it. But the Cerbs, on the other things, they've already got that right tower down. They have good pressure. They can start grouping up, trying to look for these bigger objectives of the Fire Giant. They have that Oleron ult, that Sanctified Fields. They just need him to be in these fights. Not get eviscerated, of course.
Of course, yeah. But the catGirls do have a beautiful counter in that Descendant of Madness. The Cthulhu is a great response for that Sanctified Field. Really just turns it on their head and makes them think twice about what they're going to do to try and get around it.
One way to might get around it is to kill it before it can even fight them. We're not fighting on the Fire Giant side of the map. We're fighting on the left side, and it looks like the Oleron is going to be taking another spill quite early on. Defender of Olympus doesn't quite get off. Bugcatcher Land did fall just too quickly from Nom's Fable Reporter Support, and of course, General Tell You was already on that side of the map. You get a pick and the Draugr. That's about it.
Definitely is going to be a helpful pick, and it's only at the cost of 2 ultimates, which do come back relatively quickly, so I really can't say it was bad trade in the slightest. 0 for 1, and they were able to pick up a tower, but they did lose the mid lane tier 1 in the end. Overall, definitely a good trade for the catGirls, who are catching up little by little to that gold difference. Their XP is sitting nice and pretty though. They're certainly not hurting there, but they are going to have to be careful. That Gold Fury is about to spawn once again, but the Cerbs are hovering around that Fire Giant. Definitely going to want some wards in this one.
It really breaks the mind of Smite, right? Like, you're looking at it, you're like, catGirls are down in gold, so surely they're behind, and they've got like a 3k XP lead, and you're just like, yeah, that makes sense. Sure, totally. Had to have been some big shutdown experience that they got, maybe a little bit extra farm. Of course, you do have that passive
down.
gold with a tower. Not a lot, of course. Not a lot of gold that they're down, but still just a little bit of head scratch. You're like, are down in gold still, though. Just remember.
Down 4k gold, up 2 levels on everybody except solo. Hello? Smite?
Doesn't scream that. That seems like, oh, we got like a 6k gold lead. We're up 2 levels everywhere. But no, they don't have that much gold lead. In fact, they're behind. And the Gold Fury is now going towards the Cerbs. It is going really quickly, but the catGirls have stolen it away, and General Telia has picked up a kill onto the high altitude. He's gone down, so if the Sanctified Fields trying to pick up the Emoja on the backside of the Reporters Fort, not going to get it. Mulan having the beads out. That through the realms, keep him alive for the moment, but the descent in the madness is here, and the madness is being caused. Athena very, very low. Telia's got that one. He's got 2 in this fight so far. Someone gonna pick up another one. It's too icy, has gone down. The Oleron trying to pick up Telia. He's got 3 now, only a double kill though from the timing difference, of course. Now it's all left to V-Start to get himself out of danger, but it's going to be very, very hard to, especially with that root and the drop kick coming through, but it's a lot of tank damage here. He'll be living for quite a bit of time. That 3 does not connect onto that wall, so he will not get pulled forward. He is still running around trying to get out. Noms, can you please pick up this kill, my friend, and don't die to him, because that would be very embarrassing. He's going to jump over the wall into the purple buff, and he's running away. V-Start might have made himself live here.
Finally.
A 0 for 4 trade, plus they stole away the Gold Fury. You have been hit by, you have been struck by a smooth criminal. The catGirls really turned that one around.
Do get a kill out of the end of it, though. You know, Cerbs came back, picked it around. V-Start really showing off what this Mulan could do. A lot of really good healing. He will come back around and find a really late return kill. Maybe we could have gotten 2 if Noms had stayed around any longer, but look at the right side of the map. Fire Giants under half health. Very, very low right now. This Cthulhu's gonna fall to it. High Altitude's gonna pick that one up. The Cerbs can come back around and steal this right back out. catGirls will confirm it, thankfully. Oh, Noms is gonna pick up that kill before Persephone all hits. Might have been able to catch the Queen in the back if it had been just off to the left a little bit, but the Fire Giant now on the waist of 3 of the catGirls.
That was a really solid defense from the Cerbs. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. The V catGirls, I don't know what it is, but as soon as they start pulling an objective, no matter who's pulling it, they just flick a switch and turn on scripts. Like, this is the criminal. Stealing and securing every objective imaginable.
They're really just looking clean. At least once they start getting to these objective team fight stages. And ironically enough, that's what their team wants to do as well. We talked about it. They had a pressure comp last game that they rocked with, and now they have a team fight comp that they're rocking with.
It really is no wonder why the catGirls did so well in the main season when they're putting on a display like this. They're behind early on, and they're turning around so effectively. It's really hard for the Cerbs to take any advantages that they can. That's certainly not stopping them from trying. They're putting up one heck of a fight.
And of course, the Cerbs aren't out of it quite yet. They did have a lead for most of this game, just lost recently around these objectives. They still can win this game. It's not out of the question yet. They're only down around 1,000, 1,500. It's still relatively close for this team. The Cerbs still can fight back into it. They still have good team fight ultimates. They just have to use them correctly, and they have to deal with the bigger menaces. Have this all around all for the defense, and we saw it last game. It looked sick.
It looked sick? It looked sick. Killjoy, I don't think you are fully grasping just how incredible it was. That has got to be an understatement, my friend. Honestly, it was nothing if not hype and just downright criminal how effective that they were. Especially having the River's Rebuke at the same time. The Cerbs had such a massive team fight, and their bird defense was really hard to beat. It took the catGirls 3 or 4 tries to get birds.
Oh, this isn't going to be good if Cernerline falls down early, and he does go down. Top Hat credited with that one, and now the Sanctified Fields has been dropped after the tower has fallen. You would have expected them to save that maybe for that Phoenix defense, especially since the big damage dealer of that Sanctified Fields is gone. They got rid of the Cthulhu. Sanctified Fields is about to do work, but now it's gone.
They're gonna have to be careful and make sure to get it up again before they want to take that big dangerous fight, since Ceramic is going to be up a lot quicker than Sanctified Fields will be, but a Ultin from Mulan, Divine Mastery into Defender of Olympus, will catch the catGirls a little bit off guard, taking a lot of damage, especially with Tearing the Veil coming out from high altitude. They're going to be really invading these back camps and forcing the catGirls to back off, even though they have the Fire Giant.
I was really just kind of like walked into that and was like, yeah, no, I know it's hitting me. I'm just gonna walking through it lengthwise instead of stepping out of it. It was entertaining to say the least. He's just like, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But now the Cerbs make a really good play call here, going for this Oni Fury. No one for the catGirls is in a position to steal this away. Not really General tell you he could step up, but look who's here. It's V-Star, man. He's looked so good on this Mulan so far. 6-0-1, doing great zoning work, finding themselves the only one to survive that 4-for-0 earlier on, and then returning a kill at the end of it. It's looking really good.
I mean, he is 6-0 on a Mulan. That alone really sets you up pretty nicely to just take control of whatever you want. And
So good,
gotta
man.
also appreciate Defender of Olympus on top of him lets him just pop Divine Mastery, just charge right into the heart of the enemy team and just obliterate everything in sight. It's truly a damaging and punishing combo, and it's really giving the catGirls some trouble.
It really has. You could see it too on the faces of them sometimes when they're like, somebody comes in, all of a sudden there's two people, and you're like, there was supposed to be one person here. The relic usage, of course, of how they're trying to deal with this damage from Top Hat, and you start comboing together. And then, of course, it's two Ice and Bugcatcher really just have good synergy with each other to pump it into the right people. We saw that Stinger immediately eliminate that Cthulhu as soon as he dashed in there on that last tower defense. So they are looking good for this Fire Giant defense. They have the positioning around it. And of course, V-Star in the front is wanting to get it started right away. Clean it in the wall now. Looks like High Altitude wants to find some damage. Tearing the Veil comes out, doesn't get anyone quite yet, and it'll be eliminated very, very quickly because those 3 hits will stop the damage from it. Fire Giant has hit the ground now. That girl's trying to step up.
Definitely not going to be easy for them to try and fight this, though. Both teams are very effective in their team fights. The Cerbs have a lot of damage output, but the catGirls definitely have the ability to turn around and re-engage in these fights, so it'll be difficult for them to really take an advantage, especially when General Talia has his beads popped really early, and he's forced to Bifrost out.
Was able to get out with that Bifrost, so he's okay for the moment in time. But really saw that damage check come out of V-Star and High Altitude right away. He's still here, only about half health. Now it looks like the blink comes in from Mulan. Right there, Divine Master straight to the back lines. Got 4 of them locked in. High Altitude's picked up General Talia. There's another one. He's back there chasing. He'll find Noms and give him the double kill. Reporter Sport trying to deal with those 2 on the left side is now Smolicus trying to run himself away. Uncle Fable coming out of base. He's not going to be able to do much in this fight besides maybe get Reporter Support out of here. Cerbs winning this team fight and are going to be rewarded with a Fire Giant.
That is a massive pickup for the Cerbs. They are absolutely running away with that one. Cthulhu does not have ult. He's going to be hard-pressed to try and steal this one away. Unfortunately, the damage coming out in report, he ends up falling to High Altitude. Fire Giant is secured for the Cerbs, and now it's a chase to finish off the catGirls. Cthulhu's not going to last very long.
Oh god, him Budcatcher's gonna pick up Sir Little Kiss, but did you see High Altitude coming on the wall? He's like, I'm gonna go chase this Persephone. As soon as he gets to the edge, the Tether's just like, come back here, and you're gonna hold him in place. And High Altitude will still end up getting Uncle Fable. Wasn't too happy about that Tether, and now they're able to run this one down, try to clean up some of these towers, maybe potentially get a Phoenix, but it is, of course, only Bugcatcher and Top Hat here right now. Noms in the jungle. If he takes too much damage, he might potentially look to go in on these guys. That tower still has not fallen quite yet. Needs the rest of the team to potentially show up. There, it will finally fall.
Did take them a minute, but when you've got Fire Giant, it's not going to be easy to take those fights and not get rewarded.
Very, very hard to, take a Fire Giant, go find something, and not get anything off of it, of course. Now the towers looked at for the Cerbs. This left lane will be what's under duress. Athena does have Defender of Olympus, so she'll be able to get back to this fight at any moment's notice. It's a pretty big wave, so Athena's going to find quite a pretty good chunk of farm right here, making sure only a couple minions will go under this bird, and the rest of the Cerbs are going to go ahead and back, spend up the gold that they've earned, and get ready for a Phoenix Siege.
This Phoenix Siege is going to be really important for the V catGirls. If they can't figure out what went wrong and turn it around, it could spell disaster for them. There's only one tower left in the game. The V catGirls have it on the duo side tier 2. That's all that's left. So one big teamfight win, especially on a bird, could result in a game-ending push. They're gonna have to be really careful with this one.
Be careful, it doesn't look like they want to be quiet. Yeah, they're over here on the right side trying to push this wave up before they're backing for this Phoenix because they know this tower, it's not worth it. You're seconds from 30 minutes in. This tower is effectively gone. It's already evaporated off the map, but they got to be here for this defense. Otherwise, the Serbs could just walk straight on in. They do have Bug Catcher ready with that roller and all. They're going to go ahead and drop it right down. This Phoenix is tearing down very quickly. Reporter Sport gets a beautiful Rivers Rebuke out, and the back line for the Serbs is taking way too much damage. Oleron really low. He's going to fall. Uncle Fable has picked up top hat, and the rest of the Serbs are on the run. The catGirls putting down the W key, trying to catch back up. The only one that's not close is High Altitude. He's trying to take a fight with General Talia, makes it into the wall for the moment in time. And once he gets out, that'll be where he's got to run away. And it is starting to get hit, though, because the mid Phoenix fell. High Altitude snuck under there and took that one away.
They may have successfully defended the duo side Phoenix, but the mid lane fell. They did still get 2 kills out of that for 0. A massive team fight turnaround for the VCAT girls. That's really going to set them up well for the next team fight. Give them a little bit of a confidence boost, knowing that their siege defense and team fight setup is that good, where you can turn it around that quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Especially pick up this Primal Theory, this Fire Giant that's spawning in about a minute and a half. This is looking good for catGirls. They're right back in this game. They're still quite a bit of gold behind after that last push from the Serbs. They really collected a lot of gold for their pockets. You really can see on those items where it's all finishing up. The only one that's really ahead right now in items is Reporter Support in that support role, even though he is 2 levels down. Pretty much full build at this point. The only thing he doesn't have is that upgraded starter, which Top Hat has already completed.
It's definitely going to be coming down to these last team fights. Those bird fights are really going to it's what's going to make or break this set. The Fire Giants are important, but we saw in that last fight the Serbs had it, but they weren't successful enough.
No, you're right. And we saw it last game too. The Phoenix defenses, both teams have had really good ones so far. So it's going to be, you're right, it's probably coming down to a game 5 Phoenix Siege. Somebody's going to win and turn it and run it all the way back down and close out the set. But we're not there yet, of course. We're still only in game number 2, and maybe it won't even go to game number 5. We'll have to see. This is going to be very entertaining on this Fire Giant. This will be the first EFG we'll be seeing here today, Jeering Lamb, in the game number 2. It's going to be awesome to set up for it, spawning about 15 seconds. Serbs aren't in front, ready to rock and roll with it. The catGirls making their way here, down a player currently, so they have to be careful nobody gets picked out. One thing I've noticed, Jane, of course, is on It's Too Icy. Some of these bees that he's putting, or some of the honey he's putting down, don't have any bees on it. He's got to get these hives around there too.
You do definitely want to defend your honey. It's a very precious resource. You can't be giving it up to the catGirls for free. It may slow them down seeing such generous giving outs, but you really, really want to make sure you're getting value out of it, especially as these team fights are breaking out. The EFG is up, and they're going to be doing a lot of damage onto the Cthulhu really early.
It's a big stinger in the Cthulhu. He's losing his health pretty quickly. Nam's in the backside trying to find everybody, but the Nams is going to be eviscerated right off the face of the earth right after Sanctified Fields has landed. Cthulhu also very, very low. This is looking great for the Serbs. Aunt has been popped as well, trying to chase out the Cthulhu. He will go down. Double kill for High Altitude. Uncle Fable in the backside. This Faint Persephone won't be able to pick up a kill. 3 now down for the catGirls. The Serbs are pushing in. They're looking to try to get potentially an end call. And a little bit of a sneaky play here out of General Talia to try to get that out. He'll be able to Bifrost for the moment. He's in a good spot to maybe turn some damage around, full health, and then no health right away. He is gone. It's Too Icy. Credited with that kill. Report or support, the only one left alive to defend against 5. Middle Phoenix still down, Titan under half, and this game number 2 is going to the Serbs.
Beautiful turnaround from the Serbs. They are really showing what it takes to say, you know what? May not have won the last game, but that doesn't mean we're not taking this one.
Definitely not. They're not going away without a fight. Number 2 going for the Serbs, tying it up 1-1, Jaron. We're in for a headbanger here tonight. Going to be a great final set. What was really the problem for the catGirls there? Was it this Oleron? Was it getting a lot more value, or was it V-Start rocking this Mulan?
I feel like it's a combination of V-Start being just absolutely massive on the Mulan, having that big of a lead against that Cthulhu early on really leads to that extra pressure. And we all know a fed Mulan can be a very, very big problem. Plus, Sanctified Field is just such a massive team fight changer. It really sets the pace for who's winning that team fight. And especially if you're getting a heavy dive like Noms was trying to do, you just pop that one little button and turn everything on its head, slowing them in their tracks.
We'll have to see if they're able to adjust for this. Is the catGirls variable adjust for the Cerbs put together right there, or if the Cerbs are going to get a chance to run that comp back? Looked really good. We'll find out on the other side of this break when we get to game number 3. Welcome back to the QSL Amateur Finals, everybody. catGirls and Cerbs all tied up 1-1 going into game number 3. Still Killjoy and Jaren Lamb for your picks and bans for this game. And Jaren, it switched up a little bit. The Cerbs have now taken this first pick slot. The catGirls are in that second pick after their choice once they lose. Where do you think these bans are really going to go out now, trying to lock up what they want to pick up?
Honestly, so far, I'm pretty certain it's actually going to be pretty similar bans overall that we've seen consistently. Things like the Camazots and the RDO, and then Achilles and Soul. Those are all 4 gods that have been banned all 3 games so far. I don't think they're going to be changing it up too much, but the bottom 2 are absolutely going to be more targeted. They don't want to let the Serbs get the same comp that they had last time. Having that Ola run, AMC, the Mulan on top of the Clio, it was just a little bit too strong for the catGirls to be able to handle. They had a fantastic team fight. Unfortunately, just that farm was just not quite enough for them to catch back up and retake the game. They made quite the valiant effort and came really close.
MC going to be that third ban out here for the Serbs. And I like this because I was just about to mention it. D-Glim is back now for the catGirls. That was their AMC in game number 1. AMC for game number 2 was, again, on the winning team. So banning that out, pretty good idea. Odin also following out that ban. So it leaves Geb open for this first pick in game number 3 here, Jiren. Guess what they get right back?
Yamoja and Olaran this time for the catGirls. Previously, we saw Yamoja and Olaran together on the Serbs, but unfortunately, Cleo is left open for the Serbs once again. That Geb is going to be really impactful late game, and the Cleo to really just stomp through the early game, get them set up for success everywhere across the board. So far, it's looking really competitive right out the gate.
Really nice right out the gate. Gilgamesh now being hovered instead of that cleanup. You start could go back to this Mulan as well. Looked fantastic. Didn't die in game number 2, but Gilgamesh will be locked in instead of that cleanup. Looks like high altitude didn't really want to go back to that pick quite yet, even though it did look quite good. And going back to this Umoja Olaron, of course, some sick riptides right away from reporter support. So now coupling that with the sanctified fields to pull some pretty good pick plays in for them. Tiamat though will be this third pick up here for the Serbs. Locked themselves together a pretty high CC draft so far.
I do like seeing the Tiamat coming in. Tiamat is a very high skill cap type god, and if you have the consistency and the skill to pull it off, which these players certainly do, Tiamat can become a weapon of mass destruction in that late game. And coupled with a Geb, you're going to be really freaking hard to kill. Having, what is it, 55% damage mitigation on top of that massive HP shield? It's going to be really difficult to bring down the Serbs mid laner here in this late game for game number 3.
Will be very difficult, but one way they might try to do it is with this Chiron now being locked in. And still go to the mid lane, be a Chiron in the mid. Has been something favored for some teams as well, just leaving that Oleron in that long lane to farm his way up, get online, and then show up with that big ultimate. But once this happens now, we're going to the second waves of bans. Charybdis being banned out alongside Tyr. Both those are targeted bans.
Definitely targeted bans for sure. They realize Diego is back in the mid lane, so they're taking away Fable's tier. They don't want to deal with that again. It was really problematic in game number 1. They said, "No thanks. I'm not feeling it." And they also ban out the chalk.
Yeah, I like this. I actually don't like this. So let me look at it. I was like, I like Chalk Gun. Oleron's in the game. Keep it away from him. But it's the team that would want Chuck to chase down the Oleron, so I'm not too sure what they're looking at there. Maybe they want to go back to a Cthulhu potentially for V start here now. He didn't get it last game. Could rock it this game. But the Hu Yi will be limited from Bugcatcher lands God Pool here. Where do you want to see the catGirls go for this pick here? Now, you see their backline. You got their support. Do you want them to pick up their jungler here?
Honestly, I think it might also be beneficial to pick up a very strong solo laner as well before something gets taken out. They do still have some decent setup for themselves in the team fight. Chiron is going to help out in the mid lane for that early pressure. but getting that secure from the solo and jungle, both are going to be pretty important to pick up here as early as possible. We'll just have to see what is left for them to grab. For example, Cleo made it through once again. Will Noms pick that up and rock the damage, or will he go back to Erlang Shen? He'll go to
Go back to
Erlang Shen.
Erlang. Go back to Erlang. He's gonna lock it right back up. Coupling that again with an Oleron, pretty good. Wouldn't be surprised if it rocked another game together. So we'll have to see if that's really what they want to do. But now we're gonna get to find out what Bug Catcher Land is gonna pull out of his bag for the first time, not on an Oleron here in game number 3. Looks like he's gonna go to the Rama, a late game high damage carry. Look really good now here for the Cerbs. They've got themselves a pretty good team fight again.
They do. They've got quite a hefty amount of late game setup and damage output. They're going to be really able to just keep in those fights and apply the pressure. But the only problem is they're really going to be relying on that Geb, Tiamat, and Gilgamesh to pump out the numbers. Rama isn't exactly the number one guide you think of to hyper carry a game like this. So it's going to be interesting to see how those late game team fights go, especially since the catGirls have a lot of early pressure here. Nike is going to be great for those turnarounds and
Now's the
re-engages,
time.
but will it be enough to get them through?
It was really questionable too. We saw if you start on it game number 1, the one that these guys had lost. And go back to it, reprise it, see if you can find anything back out. But what was open was a Guan Yu, and we talked about earlier being one of those picks that could really run down an Oleron. Now it's on the Oleron's team, and there is
Healing!
so much healing
Oh my
for this team.
god.
Every single player on that team has healing in their kit somewhere. I need to see brawlers, pestilences, toxic blade, aug. I need the whole 9 yards at this point.
And we were just thinking about that cursed Ankh in the previous game. This is where it's really going to become important since everybody on that team has a way to heal.
They need to get it rocking right away almost. I see it not even early, but as soon as you hit level 12, I don't care who hits level 12 first. Go pick it up. I mean, let's be honest. That's so much healing. I don't care who's getting it. If it's high altitude, pick it up. Sure, go get it. If it's V start, yeah, okay, works for me. Just get that online and start limiting it. But looking at these drafts, Jaren, I gotta ask you, where are you leaning? Are we giving it over to the catGirls who took game number 1? Or are we coming back around and handing it over to the Cerbs who looked really great in game number 2?
I'm going to be a catGirl stand tonight. I'm going to give this one to their comp. They have that Yamoja Oleron, the team fight that we've seen. It's just so effective right now. And it can really decide everybody's fate, coupled with a lot of fantastic early pressure on everywhere else on the map. Erlang Shen, fantastic early pressure all across the board, can really set his team up nicely. Chiron can get a lot of damage out onto the mid laner in the early game, can pick up some farm while the mid laner has to back, especially against that Tiamat. Guan Yu in the solo is definitely going to be able to hit that Nike hard when she's not quite expecting it. She's not ready. She had pretty easy going last game. Cthulhu, not really the greatest early game god, but Guan Yu is going to be a different story entirely. And I think the VCACOs can really use that early pressure in this game, or game number 3.
This is something we talked about too before we get into game number 3. Of course, they're having a little bit of issue with the lobby, so we'll just hang out here for the moment. Talked about it. Well, you talked about it. Game number 3. This is your important game, Jerry. This is the one where you're like, all right, this has got to be it. This is the one that defines it. If you're down, you got to come back. If you're up, you got to close it out. So it all comes down to this game here, and you're thinking the catGirls are going to be able to come in and win this. I like it too. They're rocking that same team comp, or not team comp, same team they had game number 1. They've got Deagla back in that mid lane. They've got Uncle Fable back into that solo lane where honestly, he looked pretty dominant. He was kind of getting a lead on V-Start and looking really good, especially since V-Start didn't go back to that Mulan for that early pressure. This could look really good for the catGirls. And early game, that's all we're talking about.
Exactly. This can really decide the momentum. If the catGirls can pick this one up, they can really start rolling the ball and just trying to take every advantage possible. This is where we can really see, will it turn into a 3-1, or Will the Serbs show just how good they are at the game and force a game number 5? Or are the Serbs going to take control and 3-1 the catGirls? We're really going to see a shift in momentum here. And I think it's important to mention we have a little secret to unveil to chat. Since we thought this was such an important game, we're actually going to be giving you a celebrity cast. You want to introduce him, Killjoy?
Oh, but of course, Jerry, this will be it for Jerry and I. Of course, always a pleasure with you, Jerry. But that's it for the rest of the set. It will be taken over by the one and onlys, RG and Zav. Guys, take it away.
Hello.
Hey, hello, what's up? Got this
Well,
finals game here, Zav. Which comp do you think is going to take it here? I think personally the Cat Girls have a much better early game and they could really get the ball rolling, just as our two boys who left it all to us did say previously. What about you?
I have to agree. This VCAT girls comp is menacing. They have Erlang Shen for the early pressure and the Yamoja and all around to just sustain in lane, and they'll be fine. But once they hit late game, I don't know who's going to be able to dive them in the back line without facing the consequences of their action.
Yep, that Chiron also. Chiron brings a lot of pressure in mid lane. He just does a lot of damage. He just could dash at you and stuff. But I mean, the Serbs also have a pretty good comp as well. They have the Gab, they have the Goga, they have Tiamat and Nike. I think Rama's probably the weakest part there, but I think he still factors into this with that heavy dive. He could definitely just snipe people over the side while being safe to the Gab shield. So it could be either's game, but I would like to see VCAT girls, but get it going.
I'm gonna have to agree. One thing that I do see that is kind of different is the Erlang Shen opts to go Eye of the Jungle, where most of the time I see Erlang Shen opt into the mannequin scepter. What is your opinion
Yeah.
on that?
I mean, I think it's definitely doable. I would definitely prefer the mannequins, especially if we're gonna put this pressure out. But I mean, if they're trying to go for that late game, Protector could also do well. Not say that mannequin upgrade isn't bad, but I would have preferred the mannequin, but it should be passable here anyway,
That
as
is
some things
true.
come out left side.
Everyone just playing this pretty passively in the early. Nothing much to do. Farming it
Yeah,
up.
looks like Erlang was looking to the left side, but couldn't find anything either. The Serbs already knew, or they just weren't looking to aggress anymore.
Yeah. So this Ramba, I like what he's doing. He's opting into the Poison Star start that we haven't seen in a while. Most people kind of felt like it fell off because against other hunters you kind of just lose. But how do you feel about it into somebody like Oleron?
I think if anything, it's probably the best on Rama. I mean, even though I don't like that start a lot, I mean, Rama, he doesn't use Crusher that much, as we see a Umoja 3 and some nice damage going to Rama, but and a stun too, but the Geb is going to minimize that. But as you were saying, yeah, I think it's probably the best on Rama, and with all the healing they have on the other team, I don't think it's a bad choice at all. I think that's something they can definitely go for, especially since you are on Rama. I wouldn't like it on other hunters though, but yeah,
Both junglers looking to want to do something solo side, but both running into each other. So, oh, as a pause does come out,
mid jump.
mid Nike jump.
Man's almost about a touchdown. But yeah, looks like they're playing on the solo side as you did know, both junglers are on this side. Who do you think would be able to get an invade off if you're looking at catgirl side or the Serb side? Which team you think would be more likely to invade the other blue?
If I'm being honest, Uncle Fable seems to be heavily poked out. He's almost running out of pots, while Nike is in the better health situation and mana
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah,
So
interesting enough, he doesn't get med, which I would definitely have liked to see. It's definitely not bad to double down on med. You got your team comp with a lot of healing, Guan Yu, Emoja. I mean, med just keeps you alive and keeps you healthy, so you can, go for invades even if you are losing pressure like this in terms of the poke trade. But yeah, I do have to agree with you that since he does not have that med, I think he actually could get his blue invaded, and I think Gilga and Nike have some pretty good secure. Of course, you have Erlong, the pin and the knockup, but if he maybe kicks him off the blue buff, they could definitely secure it, and that could be something good for the Serbs here since they do not have, I would say, a favorable matchup in the early game.
yeah, both junglers looking to try to get some aggression out somewhere, but they just keep seeming to not find anything or just running into one another, not knowing who wins that matchup this early. Nobody really looking to try to take the 1v1, but in my opinion, Erlong should win it because he can just cancel out the Gilgamesh drop kick and just poke him out quicker than Gilgamesh can poke him out.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think so far on the map state, the Erlang Shen hasn't cleared his green buff and back camps. Gilgamesh has, so he does have a little bit of extra gold. Maybe if he does get that blue invade, that'd be really good for him because he was able to get all his farm and also is able to get that. But he will definitely have a little bit of struggle if Erlang decides to match him over there, as you said earlier. So just wait for the game to start again and Nike almost dunking on the floor.
She really wants to hit the ground. You see it in her
Yeah,
wants to
man's literally trying to claim the moon right there. He's got like the
yeah,
flag in his
first
hand.
first woman on the Nike.
Yep, first woman on the moon. Yep, right there.
Well, it's happened. Take it back. That might Rama getting far behind.
Personally, yeah, I do see them having this pressure, to be honest. It wouldn't be a bad idea if they try to hang around this purple and red timer because you have that Chiron on as your mid laner and you're along. So it would even be a bad idea to just play this purple and red timer because if that Rama loses purple, he already doesn't do that well in terms of doing damage in the early game as it is. Being that he's not even able to use Crusher that much or he went into Poison Star, and that all around Umoja, I'm pretty sure they definitely would be able to take that over to the purple buff here as they are having pressure in lane. Umoja just healing, doing kind of everything. To be honest, that god's really good, and all around also with his attack stem and Erlong and Chiron. If Chiron makes a rotation over there, they could easily take a free purple and red because Nike should be fine on her blue.
Yeah, that's one thing you usually don't want to see is the lane that's playing for a late game get ahead early. That definitely spells disaster for the later stages of the game. If the god you don't want to get ahead gets ahead.
Yeah, that does cause problems. I believe we saw high altitude come back in here to smite on the top left. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah,
My man did indeed get back into smite, so should be seeing from them soon. Oh, tragic. I saw it though. We had the yes, we had the sneak peek. We had the sneak peek.
we'll be returning. The return of the Sith, perhaps. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Nike
can't I can't get over that.
Nike's wings are getting a little tired. She's been up there for at least
Yeah, they're just waiting to when she could just fall down. Yeah,
yeah.
right?
That would require some massive amount of body. Those little wings.
Yeah, do you see that one like archer thing? Like arrow? Just
The one
like
archer arrow. It
zoning
just
in on her?
looks like the homie arrow. If
Yeah.
there's any Marvel fans, it looks like Yondu's arrow from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, sir. I was literally just thinking that. I even know how that he's even. I guess because she jumped, she was in archer range, right? And then she jumped, and then the archer thing still follows you. So yeah, it makes sense.
There's some situations where if you back on time, it can follow you back to the
Yeah,
top.
yeah, yeah. It can.
Those are pretty funny interactions. Where you're like, what just hit me?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Smite physics are interesting to say the least.
We should get on pause though. Hopefully, we can jump right back in some action.
Right. Yep. Looks like he did get the red disconnecting off his name, so that's pretty promising.
He is now we great on pause. I would like to see the catGirls go for some form of invade, not letting the Cerbs get any amount of farm.
Yeah, you definitely want to set the pace with the Solong Shen. Uh, Definitely so. I mean, because Gilgamesh, he can operate. Oh, we get back in. Yeah, Gilgamesh can't operate earlier, but I think Erlong has the better pre-5
Yeah,
just by a
that's
little bit.
if anything, Erlong being able to take note that this Gilgamesh does not have beads could look for some form of a kill on him early.
Yeah, that's cooldowns down off Gilgamesh. So if I were Erlong, I'd definitely go straight for this blue, knowing that Gilg has no jump or drop kick. And looks like they cannot. Oh yeah, they actually do get the blue. Yeah.
Catgirls evade, but it looks like it might be in the drop kick so
Ooh,
good.
he's still dead.
High
Unfortunate.
altitude dude picking up the first blood of the game on Uncle Fable.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good invade. I see. This is where that med comes to the equation here, because I feel like if you had med here, that definitely secures their escape, no problem, as they are getting their own blue invaded, and I
And
think
the Erlang Shen secures the blue.
yeah, with the 3.
Wow, that is very unfortunate for the
Yeah.
Serb.
Although Guan died, it's still a pretty decent win because he got both blue buffs. As he does lose the small ones, but it shouldn't be too bad. He probably lose the big ones too. I would probably send Guan to that, but he definitely wants to pick up that blue. So
Gilgamesh doesn't fade.
if he's not
Maybe
careful
he
here,
might get
this
caught
guy
out.
could be yeah. Oh, they just spot him, but Chiron's not coming over. That I think that's a misplay.
Yep, Chiron should have been over there.
Yeah,
Gilgamesh in his current mana state only has enough mana for 2 abilities at max.
yeah, I think that's a misplay. They know that Gilgamesh just camps her up and that he's pretty low, and that team must half. But it looks like they're gonna choose to just play it safe. Understandable, but would like to have
Yep.
seen him use that Chiron pressure, even though he's definitely had more health than him and such. But it's okay.
That will prove to be an advantage, as now Gilgamesh will probably hit 5 before decent mode.
These servers are going crazy right now. Every time you watch that. Oh yeah, that Guan noise is annoying. But we are back in
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like catGirls will be able to secure the oracles over there on that side. You gotta hear that annoying Guan 3 again.
Back to the box battle of solo. As a
Yeah,
gank does come out from catGirls. No good, as the Serbs are just already ready for
purple
it.
is up. The purple is up on the red though. They could definitely look towards this. It looks like they're trying to go for the red, but they could actually conceal it. Yeah, nice. That
Go
team
to red.
actually could have secured it. They could also go for that purple too, but their Geb is here now, so it's a little bit of a risky thing. So maybe they just leave that purple in the dust now. As we see Erlong maybe hovering around his blue side. That blue is up indeed. Looks like he's gonna snatch it off cooldown.
Yep.
Nike has all this pressure here, but
Could
not
be a
even knowing about
problem
his
for
own
Nike.
timers.
Nike could get caught between 3 people in a place she doesn't want to.
Yeah, I think she might be safe though. She has her jump, but she does lose her blue buff though. Not on top of those timers here, but blue buff. Serbs are looking for something here.
Big drop kick.
Wow.
Erlong Shen getting deleted before the fight even really takes way. Guan Yu all in, no good. Gets the Nike beats. Nike ulting.
Wow, this is good for the Serbs. Yeah, they
This
end
is
up
a
getting
very
2 kills off that. I think Erlong or Nems, sorry, was just a little bit too greedy. He got the blue buff, and they should have bounced instead of looking for a fight because you know once you get that blue buff, the enemy team's angry. Serbs wanted something back, and they got it back in blood.
And they even pick up this Greater Scorpion. I feel like the fight could have went better for them if Nom Noms was able to get his ult off or anything off before he got drop kicked, lost whole HP bar to the Serbs.
Yeah, he definitely got deleted there.
Very
But
unfortunate.
Serbs are gonna have a little 800 gold lead here, even though they did lose their buffs. They should probably be more on time for timers, but it's very good they pick up those 2 kills. And Rama here did finish the Shadow Steel Shuriken, so we'll see how that helps him out in this lane here.
Yep. As Alaran does get his Hakate, we'll see how this goes. Maybe Rama will be lucky with his crits, like 5 in a row. Or maybe Alaran will prove that his sustain is still too good for the poison.
Right. Yep. That's ideal here if you're Rama. Want to definitely get as many crits as you can because crits a balance mechanic. As we see 2 of catGirls members looking for something on Gilgamesh.
Emoja
That's
3.
10. Chiron here with that dash I was talking about earlier. This Gilg is dead. Oh, gets a nice drop kick. Ah, but he is stuck. Barely catches him.
For a commitment, I don't think the Emoja all needed to be.
Yeah,
Because it is now on like 100-second cooldown. It could be up at a crucial time.
yeah, a little bit of overkill, but gets the job done nonetheless. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Gilgamesh is walking in the wrong hood, to be honest. It just caught him lacking. Unfortunate there, but
Both junglers opting to not go beads might be a problem. Both of them are very big on combos off of that.
yeah.
And as we've seen so far, both junglers have been picked in this situation.
When Nike gets that blue buff, just absolutely snatched it from Guan Yu. And she should probably get out of here, to be honest, because I feel like the other team could rotate on her. But, oh, actually, no, it looks like her team, the Serbs, are actually coming for this Guan over here. Looks like Gilgamesh will not opt to come over here, so Nike might just get a solo here. Misses one of the ones. But
It looks
we'll
like
finish it off.
as Uncle Fable does get soloed, we do see there's a fight happening over in the left lane.
Yep, looking to pressure side on the left side. Rama's beads does come out as they need to get something back for that Nike solo kill.
The Cerbs are collecting up to try to get a refrag on. Both teams are really hard trying to play for this gold pressure, trying to pull it as soon as possible.
Yeah, with that Nike backing, they could have potentially looked for this gold if that Nike got there sooner, but they looks like they are still going to start it up.
Pull it.
How do you feel about this?
It looks like the catGirls don't know that it's happening, as 3 people are over in that right-hand side of the jungle. They might drop it before it's too late.
This is a risky pool. This Chiron has a lot of steal potential. Oh, it's way early, but I guess he kills the Geb, so not bad at all.
Pisses them off.
They
I
could look
can't-
to re-engage
I
here.
can't
to be
hate it.
honest.
He could have played to steal, but I can't hate it. He's gotten everybody low. He gets a pick on the Geb.
Yeah, it's a good play for sure.
Maybe
It's
he
a little
didn't
bit.
maximize, but he definitely did get a lot of value.
Yeah, it's Nike's here in mid lane, a little bit late, but it's okay, as nothing came out of that gold for you. Yeah, I definitely think he could have just watched them pull it and have their health deteriorate even more, and possibly could even got a bigger gain for that. But it's still a good play. It does get him off gold for and collects him a kill.
Yep.
Gilgamesh again trying to run up on him. As Erlong actually eats the dropkick and gets deleted. Oh my god.
That's what I was saying. The beads here, the beads, it's whichever one gets their CC off first kills them, and it's proven very, very, very.
Yeah, Emoji got Naomi here. She could be in trouble as well. That dropkick might have helped her. Yep. High altitude dude will fall
High
for that.
altitude dude does get picked, as Yamoja is still alive. Her team is here.
Oh my god,
He will be
Emoji.
getting out.
Wow, look at that. As a Gebo comes out.
That's the power of Med. I would like to see one of these solo laners pick it up later, and he could change the fight.
It's very good relic. I would definitely love to see this one especially have it. But yeah, looks like that's a decent trade. I believe it was what Erlong died and Emoji died and nothing else. I mean, sorry, or just
Hey,
Erlong died.
Erlang died and then Gilgamesh died.
Yeah, yeah. So jungle for jungle, yeah. Gilgamesh a little bit troll. He kicked him away, but yeah, it's probably what spot his demise. This Erlong getting ran at.
catGirls are only 900 up. Erlang being forced out very early.
Yeah.
Just came back out of base.
Solo
We see a
kill.
Solo by Bugcast.
Wow, did not even
Hell yeah.
lose like a lick of HP. I wonder what happened over there for
Might have
that
been
to
the
be so
quickness.
one-sided.
Yeah, it might have
Maybe,
been
maybe.
that I was talking about earlier.
To be honest, oh, they're looking for a Pyromancer. To be honest, I would like to see them try to look for this Gold Fury after that solo kill.
On to the all-around build. How do you feel about Hakate and the
Wait, fight going on here. A lot of ults coming out. Hold on. 1 second. Power, no, and Guano for this team. That's her beats coming out. And Erlong might fall here. Actually, Gilgamesh also dies too. 2 for 2 trade so far. Actually, no, 1 for 2 trade because Olin is already dead. And we have Geb just limping away here. Getting slowed. It's probably the end of him.
Triple kill for Uncle Fable. This will put him back in some form of a lead in the solo side lane.
Wow, yeah, I'll touch back on the all-around build, but personally, I don't agree with the Cerbs going for that Pyromancer. I think they should play to their strengths, right? You saw Bug get that solo kill on left side. You definitely want to pull your reinforcements over to that Gold Fury where that Rama's at, and because there's nowhere to see there, you should definitely win that, especially since you have more burn potential with your Rama over here. A little bit of misplay from the Cerbs, I believe, and it allows Uncle Fable to get a triple kill on the side of V catGirls.
Alongside the Pyro. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. They should have been playing around General Telia here after he did just get that solo left lane. They could have definitely pulled what in my opinion, is the better objective at this point in the game. Gold, definitely giving a lot more gold and XP than Pyromancer at this.
Yeah, agreed. Well, it looks like they're looking for the salty run back and trying to get that Gold Fury since they were unable to get the Pyromancer. Run in a bad spot. Gets his beats force out. Yumojo coming out as well. But it looks like no pressure onto Olin anymore as they are going for Gold Fury. And V catGirls gets 2 objectives here. Not looking good for Cerbs. And High Altitude also died as well. That you don't like to see that here. Him also going to fall to Erlong, Shen ult, and Olin ult. And Olin will be refragged for that.
Killed, yes.
Rama could die here?
Rama
Getting-
needs to leave.
yeah.
Just
Yeah, he's definitely... Geb should die here too.
Geb,
Easily.
wow, Nom
Wow.
with a quadra kill. He's showing that his Erlang is meant for business. He gets picked earlier, and
Nike's
he
looking for
wants
something here. She could possibly
penta
kill.
potential. If his shield
Yeah,
is
get
up,
the penta,
could be
get
the
the penta.
penta. Will we see the penta?
Ooh!
No,
I feel like
DJ
would have been split Penta,
feels.
but
Yeah,
DG, that guy, you gotta boot him off the team after the set, man.
yeah, after this, man,
That
I don't
guy's
be
gotta
thinking.
go.
Yeah,
There's no way.
whatever place my team gets, I'm taking his gems after that.
That's gotta be half after that. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Even though the penta might have been split, I would definitely have still went for
You
it.
might get killed by team out here.
Team
My
is still
God.
looking to pick him off.
Oh, so close, so
Choosing
close.
to back off.
But yeah, I mean, that fight completely goes in catGirls' favor. Like, that was unfortunate for Cerbs. They try to pull the gold for it after they just lost the Pyromancer, and I don't think they really have the resources for it, as the Chirono just kind of plays a huge factor into stealing that gold fairy and getting the rest of the team killed.
Yeah, that's big. How do you feel about the Namam's second item bubble?
Oh, you know what? All right, I think the bubble's fine for him. I probably would have gotten it later, but see, as you did notice, both the junglers did not go beads, right? So they would have to play really aware of their awareness so they don't get caught by stuff like Gilgamesh dropkick, all those pesky CCs. But I think he acknowledges that he's not in the right position that much, so he's just gonna go top to get the Magi's bubble so that he doesn't so he doesn't feel the pain too much in having beads.
Yeah, I
So I think
completely
it's
agree.
fine. Pressure gives him all the damage he needs. Um, he definitely could have done it later, but hey, if he acknowledges that he's not in the right spot at the right times, maybe he can't change it. So it's definitely a good pickup for him there.
Yep. As we saw in that last fight, Nike did get that pick onto All-Around, but do you think that'll be working that much later into this?
I think it's gonna be hard because if you noticed in the beginning of the fight, wait, hold on, Erlang Shen getting jumped on. He might actually just die here. Looks like Nike's taking no damage. Oh my god, she took no damage.
Yeah, the
And
med
both
is used
meds.
by Emoja.
Yeah, both meds force. Actually, no, just one med force out there. But yeah, I think it's gonna be hard because in the beginning of that gold fight, they did try to go on General Talia, and they ended up just ignoring him and falling back to Gold Fury, which was bad for them because it allowed Olarin to just contribute damage into stealing the Gold Fury because they just didn't have the resources to stay in there against that team comp. They have healing, Umoja, Guan Yu. You really don't want to stay too long against the Olarin. Matter of fact, as well, since he has his ultimate there, it's not something you want to bathe in. So it's definitely gonna be hard there. I would say for the side of Cerbs, they would have to try to stall the fight without taking too much damage if you're like a frontliner such as this Nike or this Gilga, and try to have your Rama go hard, which is not ideally what you want to see since you usually want to dive and have your Rama snipe, but it might just have to be how they play this, and it is reinforced with the fact that they have a Geb, so he could provide those shields with the backline and try to melt the front line of catGirls before trying to make it too far into the backline.
I completely agree. I do like the side of the Serbs where they're playing a lot better than the Tartars Titans are, where they actually already have 3 different anti-heal items online.
Yep, they did not make the same mistake as as the Titans. Grab those anti-heals as as you see. First item on Rama, second item Tiamat, second item Gilga. They're not trying to lose.
They are not trying to lose worlds.
Yep. And this power was coming back up. Which team do you have in favor of going into this Pyromancer as it spawns?
Looking at relics wise, we see that the Emoja's meta is down, and that might prove a factor if she uses too much Omi too early in. And both junglers, I'd say that Erlang Shen's DPSing is just as good as the Gilga's, but he has a bubble on his side, so Gilga's damage is getting at least half because of the
Yeah.
bubble.
Also notice Nams has a 3-level lead in jungle right here with a 2-level lead in the mid lane. So it could be bad for them as the catGirls are just smoking this pyro. No vision from the Cerbs here, just not even glancing at it. So I guess that answers your question right there.
Grab it for free.
Yeah, Erlang with a double
Blink
ult
bot.
beats Ghost.
Geb is
Wow.
killed before his ult even goes off. Guan ult was expended for it though. Not getting
Wow.
much value from it.
Yeah, the VCAT girls are kind of running this game so far. They have about a 6K gold lead right now, and they're getting kind of every objective. Nothing's going right for the way of Cerbs over here. I would like to see them reset though, get this buff, a speed buff, and try to look for that gold free as Gilgamesh blinks in, gets a blink on it. Emoja
Oh.
ult coming out.
Nobody caught in it though. Gilgamesh
Nike on
ult.
the backside here. Rama
Rama
snipe.
ulting in, hitting the Chiron.
Just not enough damage to beat these guys. Oh my god, this healing's
The healing
insane.
is too much. The Emoji med is down again.
Yeah, it's Tiamat's got her Aegis Force and beads, and you're gonna fall. I don't know if you use your both relics there. If you're Tiamat, you're definitely dead,
Yeah.
no matter what. And that healing is crazy, man. You see the damage coming out from the Cerbs here, hitting people, but just not enough. And I think they're gonna call fire, man. They got their Oloran over here and a Chiron and an Erlang Shen. So I
They
wouldn't be
have
surprised
everybody
if
there.
this goes to a 17-minute fire giant from V catGirls running off with this game, not doing exactly what we said before and using their lead. I mean, using their early pressure to push their lead, and that's 17-38 Fire Giant for the V catGirls here. What would you like to see them do to try to close this game out as fast as possible if you're V catGirls?
We already see that the Cerbs are probably going to grab Gold Fury here. I'd just like to see them collect all T2s and probably get another item spike and then just run it down left with the remaining time they have until fire is back up.
Yeah, for sure. If possible, it would be nice to see them send a VCAT girl member to try to stall the Scold Fury. I think it would have been fine, but they were going to opt to just take that tier 2 in right lane and also reset. Probably look to sweep up the rest of these tier 2s and clean up the Cerbs. So, I mean, this is looking kind of grim, but if you're the Cerbs, what do you think they can do to try to get back to this game? Keep in mind all this healing, and even though they have anti-heal just not proving enough, like, what else could they do?
Feel like in this situation they're in, they have to like try to push out these minions as well as they are. They have those left side minions pushed out. That'll stall them for a good extra amount of time. This right wave is actually pushed up in their side, so if they do fight around that side of the map, they will lose their Phoenix. They kind of need to send somebody to split push. I haven't seen team at minions really anywhere else besides mid to
Yeah, I
top.
totally agree. I would like to see them send maybe the Rama or somebody's, or maybe even the Gilgamesh to split push. I mean, the Rama is the most farmed on the team, but we would like to have the Executioner in time for the siege defense. But I wouldn't mind letting a Gilgamesh maybe push up, maybe get a tower or so, and I think they should just play for the defense of the Phoenixes, at least while this Rama doesn't have Executioner and while the Gilgal is level 12.
Yeah, just looking at it at a comp standpoint, just not even looking at the levels, their comp isn't that good at the defense compared to the VCAT girls offense. As the Yemoja all around all Guan Yu all is just enough to say, hey, our ADC's in here and we're getting your Phoenix. And they don't really have anything much to rebut about it.
Yeah, with all that healing and emoji separation, it could be bad. And they're just gonna take that tier 2 left side off the map, and probably look to push into this mid wave. They're gonna push those minion waves up, I would assume. Oh, actually, no, they're just gonna take this tier 2. Looks like a somewhat of a defense. No, I guess they're just gonna let it go. The Serbs autoing here and there, but not really trying to get their hands too dirty. And that's a free tier 2. I would have liked to them, instead of just see them standing here, I would have just preferred, like we said earlier, send a Gilgamesh, go split push, get those levels back up, because you know these guys are going to get that tier 2 regardless, right? If you're not going to put up a defense, you might as well get some farm in the meantime.
As we do see a 4-level difference from the jungle, a 2-level difference in mid, and a 3-level difference in ADC. That is a lot of DPS to have to check these kind of fights right now. As we
Yeah, and
do
I
see
mean,
skirmish happen in mid.
oh,
Guan Yu coming
they,
from behind. Guan Yu ult.
I might just die here, no jump. They're going to chase her down,
That
yep.
is getting picked. The Yemoja ult, Erlang Shen ult, Guan Yu ult combo is just too much for her. She doesn't have enough beads.
Yep, Nike jump forced, and they could be in a position to grab this Phoenix with that Tiamat pick. Oh,
Erlang Shen
Gilgamesh ult.
This isn't the worst case scenario for him. Gilgamesh ult just for his bubble. This is fine. Now
Yeah,
they're
that Tiamat's
ADC
still dead.
here, and they have a fresh minion wave shoving up. All
Yeah,
around
that's all around ult. They are getting to work on
Nike
this.
is in the back, trying to make a distraction.
Oh, wow. Beautiful Gebo. And Altitude is still going to die for that. And wow.
Just getting deleted, showing
Yeah.
that being this low, you can't really do much at this point in the game. You don't have that. those
Yeah,
basic
for sure. I mean, I think that was a great Gebo, but the team I was dead. Where's your area damage? Rama there, he throws some autos, I guess. But Gilgamesh, no ult, and Top Hat is going to die here on that Geb. And they're probably going to look to clean up that left Phoenix. Yeah, they tried, but they not enough members alive from the Serbs, and they expended their Gilga ults there, as you noticed earlier, with Elrond getting his Aegis forced out, but should be fine here. Actually, Mike actually just
All around getting
dies.
picked by Bug Catcher.
Yeah, not aware of that Rama throwing autos at him. Nobody's looking at him in these fights. That could be a problem going forward.
This is a decent defense as their Fire Giant is now just wearing off. Bug Catcher does pick up a 900 gold shutdown. This could put him back into the game, or at least into a point where he can say, "Hey, put the game on my shoulders. Just play around me." What do
Yeah,
you think
but
about that?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, if I'm catGirls, I'm still fine with that trade, but I think they should be putting more into this Rama. They should be looking at him a little bit, like a little bit more, because at Tiamat's low 15, Gilgamesh low 14, they're not really threats right now. As you see, their ults are pretty much inconsequential. And we see Olorin here, General Talia die to just Rama autos, because that Nike wasn't really doing much, and then you just see two Rama autos hit him. I think if you're catGirls, you want to oppress this Rama and make sure he can't do anything. He's got both relics up after all those fights, not even touched, and he's the most farmed on the team. And if I'm Cerbs here, we know our Rama's like doing good right now, so I would like to get levels on our Gilgamesh and maybe our Tiamat so that we can hang in there with that Rama and have a better team fight and probably play around him, to be honest.
Do you see fire minions coming down mid? This is not the best situation over here for the Serbs. They do have team admin, which will stall it out just so slightly,
Yeah,
but
Fire
it
Giant
will
about to
not
touch
be
down.
enough.
Yeah, Fire Giant does touch down, and looks like the Serbs are gonna roll out of here with. Oh, that's a nice
Blink
3-minute
Erlang,
Erlang
oh,
ult.
double. The Guan Yu will do to chase the Rama. He will catch the Gilgamesh lacking.
Yeah, that Tiamat's gonna fall for that. Rama stuck in the middle of nowhere. He's gonna get collapsed on with that Yemoja ult. He ulted a little bit too early. He kind of just got left in the dust, and
Getting caught
that's
in the
3
back.
kills for
This is probably
catGirls.
the game call.
Yeah, if you're Rama, I don't know if you ult that early, man. You kind of just get because when your whole team runs away, you're just left with like 4 people to just kill you when you get down. This is probably game
Yeah, as
for
we
V
see the
catGirls here.
Gilgamesh hit a 3-man drop kick, but the just damage is not there. He's just too far
Titan's falling
behind.
soon. Geb gets 2 people, and that's game. V catGirls did exactly what we wanted them to do, and they pushed the pedal. They put their lead down, and you see even now, still 4 levels in the jungle, 2 levels in mid, and overall, Serbs not able to find much luck in this game with all those objectives being gone.
Yep. As the set will go 2-1 in favor of the catGirls. What would you like to see the Guans try to think about in these next ban phase?
I mean, over here, oh, the Serbs, you mean, but I think the
Yeah.
Serbs here, I think they, if they realize that they can't fight in a certain point of game, I think they should just get to farming, to be honest, and try to take fights away from where the catgirls are. Because as I noted in the earlier game, right, I say the game started to tip against their favor when they went for that Pyromancer, when they clearly had a winning lane in that in that ADC lane, Rama with a solo kill, and they choose to pull Pyro instead of taking their efforts over to gold, and then they try to bounce back up and try to pull gold, instinctively, and it ends up being kind of rushed. And that's 2 objectives to be catgirls with this really good early game comp with healing, and that could be really bad, as we did see it happen in the game. So I think they should play towards their winning lane and probably try to get farm on the rest of the people if they're not going to defend things.
As we will be going to a small break for game 3. Game 4, rather. My bad. Um,
Tripping, you got it
yeah,
though.
my bad. Seems like one of the games just that didn't look like a game. It was just a slaughter, really. Gilgamesh couldn't do anything. Tiamat couldn't do anything. The only person that could do anything that game was Bugcatcher over here on the Rama, and I don't really think you want to put Rama on the backpack here for the comp that he's up against. Gets everything
Yeah,
forced
yeah,
into quickly.
it takes too long to get online. I mean, my man SRT here, I know it's VSTRT, but he's SRT. My man SRT here is actually did like 25K. He did a lot, damage. Not to take that away, but I think they definitely should have tried to exploit their Rama more, and use that to get themselves back in the game because everything else was just not going well. Gilgamesh really low in levels and stuff, so you know that's what I would say to the Serbs to get this game rolling for the next one.
We will be going to a small break. We will catch you guys back in game Welcome back to the QSL finals for amateurs against the catGirls and the Cerbs. Margie, after that last game, what do you think the Cerbs have to change?
I mean, all right. I think that they should try to look for some more pressure. I think they want to get the game going in their favor because it looks like they wanted some of these objectives here and there, but I don't think they had the early game to back it up. And I think that they should try to pick something here for maybe what's it called for what's it name for high altitude dude to see if he can be more comfortable here because on that Gilga he kind of he kicked someone away on the emoji a little bit and I don't think he was able to get um, you know, everything that he wanted to do off. So I
Yeah,
think they need to also think they need to ban this Umoja or just pick it up for themselves because they need to minimize some of that healing because with all the anti-heal, I mean, maybe they should have gotten Nonk, but I, I don't know. They did not seem to play that well into that healing.
yeah, Yamoja being one of the best gods in the game right now, there's nothing she really can't do, and either you're picking her or you're banning her, and if you're not, you're making a mistake.
Yep, that god gets banned in every game I play. Even if I'm in a 300 MMR Smurf game, I'm definitely banning her no matter what. There's literally no exception to it.
As we see these bans, I like these bans so far. For this game, this set, the Cleo probably being a problem in that game too that I saw a little bit of doing a lot of DPS very quickly, so it's understandable. I'd like to see what this last ban is from the Serbs here.
Yeah, they took. Yeah, I guess they took that comfort away. That Cleota comfort pick for the side of the Serbs here. But yeah, I definitely see me personally, or a lot of people. I think we should go for the emoji ban, especially after you see it last game, and like that got just so good right now. But they do ban the soul, I guess, and that leaves AMC open for the Serbs to grab. And AMC is a pretty strong pick here. I think that's kind of a mistake for the Serbs over here. As actually, wait, no, I'm tripping because since somebody banned Emoja, they get all around Emoja. Actually, hold on, that's actually not
AMC's
bad.
value just dropped.
Yeah, that is actually not bad. I'm trolling. They get the
This is a
Emoja all
this is
around.
a good trade. This is one of those times where your first pick is not as equal as the top two that they get.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, Serbs here got the all around Emoja in their back pocket, taken away from Porter support, and although they have AMC, I mean, it can be shut down if the ADC player doesn't play it to its full potential, and Kepri will be locked in
Kepri
on
not doing
side.
too well into Oleron, and he doesn't really bring that much pressure into the dual lane against this dual lane so far. He's just kind of there to do damage, but the damage doesn't. It's not damage that's any impact with this double healing lane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what they're gonna pick here for the rest of the second pick on the side of the catGirls, and I mean, if Gyoga makes it through, I mean, even though I don't think Altitude was able to do that much on his Gyoga, it could be a good pick for them, or even that Erlang Shen, if they have that in their reserves. That
Yeah,
would be really good for the Serbs here. But I would imagine that uh, the VCAT girls would probably want to take one of those picks away at least,
yeah. If
unless
they don't,
because they got opt for the Guan Yu. That's I think Guan Yu's all right, but I definitely would have saved him for later. I think when you take away these powerful junglers away off the map right now.
I agree that they're just kind of spoon feeding them. What I've coined the God Squad, yeah, Yamoja, Oleron, Gilgamesh, and anything that's safe. That's all you really need. They just heal and have big circles. I'd love to see a chalk for solo too, and their comp should just win every team fight just off of big circles, and we're out
Yep.
healing you.
Yeah, Chalk is still up too. Chalk is a menacing pick. He's one of those solo laners where you could just carry. You build the trans, you build the CAD, you have med, you literally get away almost 99% of the time, and you do so much damage and freaking cover such a huge area with that Chalk. So, I mean, I would definitely like to see them pick one of those two premier junglers, or maybe just go for a Chalk and save the jungle pick for something else if they prefer. But
Yeah. And there's nothing much really AMC can do to get away from Chalk. He has the slow, he has the silence knockup, and he
yeah,
can just follow him down. He slows down
yeah.
his attack speed. Just a great
Yeah,
matchup for him.
yep, that's an excellent point because AMC, right? You want to smoke whoever's the front line in front of you, and Chalk kind of gets a bunch of mitigations and healing and slows your attack speed and gets protections. So I think Chalk is such a perfect pick here. I would be surprised if they let it go, but it is possible here with people not valuing Chalk that much in these stages right now.
Yeah. I really like to see the Hercules does come out instead. What is your opinion on the Hercules here?
Hercules, here I think it's all right. Um, into the Guan Yu, who's obviously knockup immune and his 3 and his 2. He could find AMC, but AMC is kind of fast, so I mean you'd have to be really good on those Herc pools. But if he does find himself a Herc pool, it could be really good with this emoji all around. Puts them into the perfect spot where they want. They can, seal off the escape with the emoji 3 and ult, and really, smoke that one guy or smoke whoever they get on the Herc pool. So not overall bad, and does contribute to the healing, a little bit of healing squad they wanted to take for themselves here, as Gilgamesh, Fenrir, and Chiron get banned in this next phase here, and Hun Bats as well. What do you think about those bans?
From the Cerbs, I'm questioning because they definitely want those 2 picks, so Oleron just maximizes his value. Maybe they're just not as comfortable as the catgirls are, and they just want to keep it out of the game. I understand the Woundbats ban because they just don't want to deal with that. That's just way too much CC for them to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Oh, Yamoja, Oleron, Woundbats alt combo is just devious.
Thanatos picked in though. What do you think about that?
I see why it's picked in, but I just don't think it's that good into the comp that they've
I feel
already
like,
laid out.
yeah, I feel like a lot of these players see Kepri and automatically think that if you pick an execute, you win the game, but I just don't think that's the case. I definitely would have liked to see them pick up an Erlong, but you might be right that maybe they're not comfortable on the Gilgamesh or the Erlong as they did ban one of them. And we have Ravana who he for the other side, and Scylla hovered. This Ravana, I'm kind of half on it. I feel like it could be good with this Kepri to ult you, maybe save you from the insane lifestyle. This Hui, whoever, I don't agree with it. Into Alaron, you just have like no CC immunity and your jump gets stalled and all that stuff. And Hui not really being that favorable as an ADC right now. Medusa's still up. Charybdis still up. A lot of really good picks up still.
Yeah, I feel like the Serbs had the better draft at the beginning, and then they just were just too caught in the idea that they need to get this Kepri out of the way. They need to get as much value of picking him off before the fight starts.
Yeah, not only that, but they do have 4 physicals on the side of the catgirls here. I think that's definitely a mistake. I feel like if they had Erlong, it would have maybe helped them a little bit because at least they have more lockdown for whoever they want to kill. But they do have double physical. I mean, yeah, in the ADC in the mid lane, so it's definitely going to be something they have to overcome.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking somebody needs an animosity or I need to see a mystical males because having Kepri carry your magical damage is definitely not what you want to have in a comp game.
Yeah, doesn't am I tripping or doesn't Animosity do physical damage?
I'm pretty sure it's magical damage. That's why in Duel it was very OP because you could be a hunter, build animosity, and then you would just win every fight because you're a hunter with animosity and you're doing magical damage.
Right, so yeah, maybe might be right there. But which side do you have here, Serbs or the catgirls? Me personally, I don't even know who to really go for, but I think I would definitely just have to go for Serbs just based on the fact that they don't have 4 physicals.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think they just caught in the idea of that they needed something to mess with this Oleron, and they completely just looked past the idea that their only magical was a Kepri. That could be like a major flaw in their play. It could be their Achilles heel.
I see that. Nice one, nice one. Yep. Yep, their Achilles heel. I see. I see. I probably would work better if there was Achilles in the game, but there wasn't.
Yeah,
So good.
unfortunately, there was
I
no
was like,
Achilles.
dang, that's really good. And I was like, wait,
I
there's no
had to. It
Achilles.
was,
Like, dang.
yeah, I couldn't miss the opportunity. I had to take it, even though the Achilles was not in the game. How do you think this? How do you think these lane matchups are gonna go? Who do you think is gonna come out with the early pressure?
Um, Personally, I'm pretty sure. Well, ideally, you would think that the Hui Kepri would have more pressure over this Umoja all around because Kepri, his 2 has a lot of value to it, and Hui has a lot of pressure with these bounces he can get, especially since he go Crusher first. But it could very well easily go to Umoja and all around depending on how they play the lane or if they see any rotations.
Yeah, as Hoyi's clear really isn't the best early in. Like before level 4, his clear is pretty trash. And if they do try to keep taking fights and they don't see any value from it, they will start to lose because that double heal comp is just going to be so crucial early in.
Yeah.
And Hoyi doesn't really do good with that poison star start. Doesn't really give him much value right now.
Yeah, I think Diego crashed, but that gives us more time to talk, I guess. But yeah, I feel like unless the Serbs dual lane takes a bunch of fights in the jungle, and then gets double bounce or trip bounce. I think that's the only way that they would be really in trouble, and they are going to surrender, I guess, so Diego can come back, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what that's all about. But I feel like this Thanatos might have a rough time because Thanatos does not really have the best of a matchup into Ravana's. If he gets 3'd once, he probably will get his ult forced
Yeah.
anywhere near
Yeah.
the middle of this game.
Yeah, I think this Thanatos high altitude is gonna have to play like very aware and of the danger on the other team, especially if he opts to go for a blink or something, because if he gets caught in the wrong spot, it's simple Kepri grab and that's his ult or death or Ravana 3.
Yep.
So
They do have
yeah,
the AMC, and AMC ult while you're rooted with Thanatos is a dang.
yeah,
Where do I really have left to go?
it's actually really bad for you because you could straight up just die to take damage when you're in the air, man.
Yeah. I'm hoping though. I'm hoping though that the what's the team's name? The catGirls just find something with this comp as Oleron. He doesn't really care about Guan Yu until the later points of the game. He's just like, all right, you're in my ult and I'm in your ult, but I'm healing and you're not. And that's not really something you want to hear with your frontliners taking on
Yeah.
their backliners.
Yep, and although they do have four physicals, they could shred objectives really fast compared to the Serbs team comp here. So, I mean, personally, I think if they can keep the Scylla out so she doesn't secure all these objectives, and if they can keep the solo side down, I think this could be really good for them because if they let that solo side get big, man, I mean, he just put in like double physical or something, and you're gonna be not having a really good time if you're the cat girls. So I think if they could put pressure into that solo, try to play on top of that, maybe get early pyro, and then take that lead over to Gold Fury, and keep that solo zoned off these objectives, they could try to close this game out. With their comp before it gets to the stage where it's hard for them to kill people.
Yeah, well, one thing I think I've overlooked is that if these two ADCs from the VCAC or actually no, the Serbs come out, like if they come out ahead, they actually do have a lot of damage with the AMC ult and the Hou too. That is a lot of damage on one target. If they do manage to sync up and hit one target together, they could just shred any frontliner together if they
Yeah.
scale well to the late game.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. If they can put this Hercules down, I mean, think about it. It's Hercules can't really get away that much if he's dead already. So if they can maybe even get a brawlers in the mid lane or the jungle, whoever, and they could put pressure on this Hercules, I mean, he's gonna dash, and then what does he do after that? He gets Ivana rooted. He gets maybe Kepi grabbed if they're doing all that. Guano could chase him down, slows will help out, and AMCO, and that guy could be history.
Yep, I would really like to see this AMC be the one to get brawlers, as he on his team or Guan have the easiest job applying it. As Bees is very easy to apply anti-heal on. Just anybody getting the same like premises
Even
as
being
anyone
in the
else.
same vicinity as them, they're
Yeah.
just anti-AO'd. So like, what are you gonna do about that?
Yep, there's nothing much they can do. They just have to eat that 40%. 40% probably not being enough to just out sustain, like just ruin their sustain because they do have Yamoja, Hercules, all around Dantos, very high healing gods. They are gonna need more than that, and their options are limited as they can only really get two good options because Kepri can't really use Divine Ruin all too well.
Yeah, I think they should also look for Ankh if you're the side of Cat Girls, because yeah, this Guan can easily just pick up that Ankh. He's a team fight oriented solo laner. Khepri could even get it too. There's not that much pressure that you would really need to run into a beads for from the other side.
Yeah, their CC isn't that threatening. It's not something you'll be like, I'm being CC'd, I'm gonna die off of this now. It's more like, oh, I'm out of position, I'm being CC'd, I have to get out now.
Yeah, that's something I think is yeah, now that you say it, really falls short on the Serbs team comp is their CC. I mean, Emojas hit a good stun. Otherwise, in that 3v3 in the mid lane, Scylla has to hit a good route. Like they have to, you know, really hit these skill shot abilities that aren't the easiest. Whereas if they had like a Erlang in the jungle, you just pin somebody and three them or ult them, and that's a free Scylla confirm or your Moja 3, you know?
Yep. This they do have a lot of pick potential really in for the cat girls. They just need to play around this Kepri hitting a root 3 on someone. The Thanatos could die off of that, the Allrun could die off that. The Scylla probably gets away, but those 2 picks could mean a lot in a team fight, as that is a lot of their damage.
Yeah, so definitely some ups and downs to each team as we see here, and we did go over how that dual lane matchup might go. What do you think about in the solo lane here, since we did touch a little bit on that 3v3? What do you think?
Solo lane, Herc is a bully. If he just plays it right, he can just keep stunning out Guan out of his 3 and just keep nailing him in the head for it, as Hercules does have a very, very high base damage on his autos
Yeah.
that could just damage check Guan to a point where he's like, dang, I don't want to be here anymore.
And Guan still goes the blink. I think he definitely wants the med here, and it would help him even more in this Herc lane. But, as you mentioned, Herc being a bully, I think it also goes back into my point out. I think that they should really look at this Hercules here, because if Hercules is, doing his job, he's bullying and stuff, right? That guy might be overextended a lot, so you could look for a lot of kills on him and put him down to get your double hunter, comp, being able to drive clear without that Herc getting in the way, because you don't want that guy to get big, and it's not like he'll be camping Tara, right? So opportunities could arise, and like I said, I'm still questionable that we're not seeing a med here coming out of the Guan. I think Blink's fine on Herc. Med could also be good on him, but I think Guan, you definitely need a med for sure.
I completely agree. Guan, he thinks he needs this blink, but really his target isn't Scylla, it's just Oleron, and Oleron can't really outrun the horse regardless, so he doesn't really need this blink here. He definitely wants med, especially if there's a Thanatos. Double med is a killer against Thanatos. You can just heal somebody from 1 HP to just half
Yep,
HP
he
by
heal all his
ulting them
targets. Yep.
instantly. Yep. And then there goes his value, because if he ults in and he doesn't kill that target, he's just stuck there, especially against this comp.
Yeah, a great point to notice here. Everything. Oh, Herc gets a pull, but nothing really much. Both can hit level 2. And Guan Yu taking some damage. He's on the enemy archer side, but he's gonna be able to dash out and be fine. It's a little bit
Yep.
skirmish in mid lane, I think. With yeah, Thanatos eating half his health.
Seizing half his HP, just bees alone. Looks like bees and a
Yeah.
couple autos is all it really takes to get you to half HP against AMC.
Yeah. AMC is tricky. If you're Thanatos trying to kill him.
Especially when he opts into Bluestone, and I think he's going into trans. This is going to
Yeah.
be a big power spike for him when he gets that trans online and fully stacked. Guan Yu looking really, really poked out here. If he misplays this even a little bit, he could die very quickly.
Easily doesn't even have beads or med, so if he gets pulled on the wrong side of town, it's probably wraps for him.
Nothing much happening. Both junglers just farming right now. Same thing as last time. Both are around that duo side, probably looking to see if they could get anything, any cheese. Nothing to be found though.
And Guan gets a pull here again, or a push here again, and I would like to see him try to pull this Guan Yu further back into his tower, but not in the range for it. I think if you're Herc here, you want to push him and then try to play the range. You can grab him after he dashes.
Missed pull.
Yeah, Guan Yu 3
Actually,
coming out either way, so that pull would have been successful, as I did notice. The Guan 3 makes him knock immune. As Dantos, he's on the side of the
covering
map.
the area.
So is Ivana, but
We
they
could
both have
see
an equal
what?
chance to kill. Guan Yu dashes down. Looks like
Looks
not
like Ravana
neither
is heading
Ravana.
over. Thanatos may be seeing this, playing around for this side of the map.
Yeah, both junglers being kind of you're not knowing what to do here, but it looks like they found something to do, and it's this blue buff coming up here.
Thanatos should
Ideally,
out-secure this ideally, just with his
yeah,
sights alone.
yeah. Herc pushes it back. Interesting play, but it does get the blue
Still
buff. So
secured. Yeah, that was a
yeah,
questionable play by the Hercules, as he just said, "Hey, here's a chance for you guys to try to steal it. My Thanatos isn't close enough and can't really predict which direction it's gonna go now because I'm pushing it."
yeah, but still works out for them. So not anything too bad right now, as they will lose the blue buff again. And Hwan Yu a little bit in trouble here, but might be fine unless Herc has enough for a 2, but maybe out of mana or on cooldowns.
Yeah. Uncle Fable on this Guan Yu he's playing it really like in a position where he's just so easily to get picked. As
Oh my
we
god, and
do
he
see
will
the
get soloed.
blink one.
Fable just standing there with no health or mana. You gotta go home or something. Don't stand in blink range.
The
And Pepper
Ultra
here.
Instinct blink coming out by
Yep.
V-Strat to say,
Alaran
yep.
just coughing over his beads. Could get stunned by Hui here. Could have been a dope
Hui's
bounce,
stun is
but we'll go for
good.
the signal. Yeah,
Hoi actually
and
getting low. Hoi bathing into the sun. The Khepri med does come out.
Alaran
Yemoja
might just
low,
die here.
Olaron low.
Yemoja could die. Oh my god, yeah. And
As a
that's
double kill for General Telia, this could be good. You're getting your ADC online very early. He
Yeah, we need
ults
to
the
ult that
wave.
wave. Yeah, so like I said, I mean, the only way, like, it looks like they took a jungle fight there, and even though General Taylor did not get a double bounce, he still just kind of closed him out there, and they end up both dying trying to peel for each other as we have some sort
You
of,
see a pause.
yeah, pause coming
Yeah,
out here.
I see a question. Like, I don't think they should have taken that play in the side of the Cerbs that early. If Oleron had one of his procs off of Gilded, but I don't think he did, so he doesn't really have that attack speed to really contest against Hoyi's damage at
Yeah,
this
for
point in the game.
sure.
As
Yeah,
Hoyi
I
does
think if
have that.
you're, yeah, exactly. I think if you're bug here, I think you just want to play for that Hecate power spike and not look for too much unless the kill is given to you on a on a silver table.
Yeah,
So, like,
after getting his beads fumbled that early in, that should have just been like, hey, we gotta go. I do not want to be in this part of the jungle against a Hoyi. If he bounces me, he didn't even have to bounce him in that situation, but a bounce would have been so much worse, as we
yeah,
see.
yeah, bounce would delete them both, but yeah, definitely right. Because Oleron just forked over that beads with the Hui stun still being up, so that's always that that's not good. You don't want to have to fork over your beads with the Hui still having stun up. That's just another resource that Hui has against you in that fight. So it just spells get out of here.
Yep. As the Serbs are, the catGirls are up. Catgirls now they just need to get this AMC into the ahead. This whole Yee's up, just get AMC up, and then you guys can just pull any objective, pick a target, and eliminate them. You don't need the magical if you get this AMC up. Your ADC's backlining will just shred anybody that they come into vicinity with.
Yep, game comes back up, but I do still think it's noteworthy that this Hercules has a bit of a lead over here on this Guan Yu, which, like I said, could be bad for the side of VCat Girls. Also, since Guan Yu doesn't have a med, he might not be able to give that much to his team outside of a Fed Hercules.
Yeah. I would like to see the side of the cat girls. They just need to play around this blue, just relieve some pressure on this Guan so that he can safely convert to mid game and try to do something against this Hercules later on. Because right now it's not looking like he can do much.
Yeah, Hercules looking to keep it up here, just hovering on the blue buff, could actually just straight up steal it with a nice two, but none of his teammates on this side yet. Thanatos late on the rotation, didn't try to ult it, does actually steal it at the cost of his
His
dash,
dash. There
and
is a
he
skirmish
could
in
be
mid,
in
but we can't
trouble.
watch both at once.
Yeah, it's two
Herc
ults so
healing
far on the Herc, and he might just fall here. I think
will get picked. That
that's
is
a
a
huge
huge pick.
misplay from the Serbs. That's a huge misplay from the Serbs. I don't know why they are going on the AMC in mid lane when the Herc's going for invade. Maybe a miscom, but I think that's a huge misplay. You see a Herc trying to get this blue, and he's getting active. I don't see a reason for you to try to go for this AMC. Well, you got his beads, but I don't think it's worth it.
The kill in mid was not good either. They did lose both of their ults for it as well, and he AMC not losing much. He
Yeah, just the
did lose
beads.
speeds, but he did get out alive, and that did allow for his team to get that frag onto V-Strat on this Hercules very early in,
Yep.
denying him the lead.
Yep, and now this MC's stacking his trans. Scylla coming over to this fight. I actually don't know if she wants to come over here. Actually, no, she's fine actually because they're winning the fight. It looks like V-Strat able to fend off his blue buff, and now they're on the rotation. But I don't think they continue anymore. There's nothing else unless they chase him to a speed buff. They need
This
to look for the speed
could
buff
be
here.
bad for Ravana as he
Ravana
just
goes.
gets deleted. This is
I
not what
yeah.
you want right
I
now.
think they need to look for this for their buffs. They need to look for some back camp control, some speed buff, anything. If you're this Thanatos, I don't think going for a totem is what you want to do here. You kill the jungler and
Even
you
for
could
your
easily.
solo, he has nothing
Yeah.
else to do right now. Just go invade. You just wasted a lot of time. You probably could have grabbed the speed and grabbed the backs on your way out, but now you can only really choose to grab the big one because this Ravana is gonna meet you there.
Looks like Ravana's just gonna go for speed, not knowing he's getting his backs invaded. But yeah, if they cut off some time here and didn't go for the totem easily, some back camps, and then you check the speed buff, and that's free speed buff. But
Yeah.
uh,
Looks like
yep.
the catgirls got a little too like overzealous and they just invaded nothing. They
And I
invaded.
think he Vistra loses his blue buff, just doesn't get the ult in time, or like to secure enough. And Thanatos on the way. This Guan could actually be dead, and getting some peel from Ravana. Just two coming out, and the pool is good. Guan Yu's gonna dash out though. That's
Herc
Thanatos
not
gonna die for
having
this.
dash.
Actually, you might be able to get up, but not really that good. They didn't get anything, and Thanatos, yep, he is
The
gonna get picked
blink
up
it
by
does come
Ravana.
out for nom noms though.
Yeah, not what you want to see there. A little bit of an int, I think. I think once you fail to kill that Ravana, I mean, oh, kill in dual lane.
Killing dual lane.
both ults came out, and
Looks like it was a
both died.
1v2, and he did come out victorious as Yamojo and Oleron all were forced, but he still came out alive, didn't
With
use his beads, and
yeah,
got a kill. It's just Hohi is 3-0 right now. He is
basically
massive.
full HP. Yeah, but yeah, interesting things happening across the map. With V catGirls ahead here, I think that if you're Serbs, you should have definitely capitalized much harder on this side, as it did allow Guan Yu to catch up, and now you have Genitalia to worry about on that Hui just, dishing out kills here,
Her goal
and
should be up soon as
Fable still dies
Uncle
though.
Fable just getting soloed. V-Strat saying, yeah, Brad, I'm not letting the last game happen again. You're not getting a redemption arc on this Guan Yu. We're shutting you down and we're keeping you down.
Yeah, unfortunate. I think Fable just needs to play a little bit back if he's not seeing that he's winning these trades, because with this Hui ahead, you just want to hang in there and be there to support him. But if you're allowing this Herc to, get up and level over you, that could be bad for Genitalia on the other side of the map for this Gold
Yep.
Fairy as well.
This Danzo seeming a little flustered. He's in this position where he wants to be in a part of these picks on Guan Yu and keeps
Gold
hovering
Fairy
that
half
side of the
HP.
map.
Gold Fairy
The
quarter.
Scylla ult
Scylla
is
around.
out. Scylla
Just
ulting
helps them.
too early, losing about half her HP bar.
Yeah, but Dantos landed on somebody's back. I
Danzo's
don't know who that
landing on
was. Oh,
somebody's
gets a
back. Danzo's
kill over
killing the
here.
Khepri.
Yeah, and Scylla falling on the side of the Serbs here. So 1-for-1, but you lost your mid laner.
Very unfortunate. They do kill the Khepri, which I don't think was in that great of a position as he is out of a place. The
Oh,
Stinger is
wait,
no
yo.
good. Unfortunate. The Guan Yu ult is there. We do see a rotation coming out from V-Strat.
Nice
Uncle
cleanup here
Fable.
from that Guan Yu, Uncle Fable making it up here. His aims he missed at all. He was like, "Don't worry, man, I got you," and just finished him off with that ult.
Uncle Fable realizing that his lane is probably not going to be the best right now, so he's like, all right, I'm just going to rotate to this gold and let's find
Yeah,
some
they have
value.
to get this Gold Fury. They must get this Gold Fury because they lost a lot on solo side. If they don't get this Gold Fury, that could be really bad for
If they
VCAT
don't
girls.
get this gold fury, his Fade Pool is losing so much pressure.
But they
As the
do secure the
V-Tactics
Gold Fury
do secure the gold fury.
at the cost of his blue buff and probably a proxied wave and a tier 1 tower.
This Hercules is now a monster. He is so far up on this Guan Yu. He doesn't even need to be in lane anymore. He's already got his tower. He could just help his team and get them out of the position that they're in right now.
Yeah, not a lot of wave pressure going to go towards, against Hercules here with that tower down. It's going to take a long time for the minions to get up there. So, yeah, he's a lot more leeway that just opened up with that tower going down. To be honest, this Herc could bait a fight here. His teams are on here. He does bait the fight.
Blink
Blinks in.
back. He does.
Ravana has no ult. That guy's just dead.
Scylla does come to secure.
Yeah,
Nam's even in his jungle.
that
thinking it was
Ravana,
his hood.
yeah, he did not expect he did not respect Hercules, and he just gets caught in his own hood lacking.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate as we do see a pyro pool come out by the Serbs. Herc is
Yeah,
just
and
on a
Hercules.
mission. Herc is just trying. He's out for blood.
Just walking around being a menace, and Serbs are gonna get themselves a Pyromancer, and they're gonna, try to even it up a little bit in the gold department. Scylla gets a nice ult,
We see a
and
nice double ult
wow.
come out by the Serbs.
Scylla missed
Every
everything,
out of
but
position using
report's
his
still
med.
dead. Yep, a lot of missabilities from Scylla there, but hey, a guy still died, right? So
Yeah.
whatever.
This Hercules is making such an impact on the map right now. I don't know what Fable can really do to like put some stress off of his shoulder. He's just so far behind in every aspect. He's down on level, he's down on gold, he's down on kills, and he's just not really making any impact.
Yeah, I think the VCAT girls. I think their awareness is lacking, right? Because if you're keeping tabs, on this Hercules, then I think you should know that if the guys ever appeared on the scene, you just go elsewhere. Just like as we saw, that Nam Nam just saw him as like, oh, he's good, it's alright, and he walked in and then he gets blinked on and killed by the rest of the team,
You can
and
see a
so did mid lane as well.
little bit of a weird build come out by Oleron. I think he thinks he's Gilgamesh, maybe. Building two different items at the same time. Perhaps this is some new tech that I haven't been tapped into yet.
I think he picked up his quest. I think he picked up his quest after he died. By the way, he probably went to go pick up a quest, and there you go. I don't
I
know
would,
that Gilgamesh passive transferred to Oleron, but yeah, it definitely does.
yeah, I would like to see this Thanatos play around his ADC. He needs to relieve some stress from this Hou Yi. He is 4-0. He's starting to get his crit online. He has this double pen right now, and Oleron just can't fight him. He can't compete with the amount of damage that he's cranking out.
Yeah, I think if you're the Serbs here and you're Herc, you are a main factor on his team. So I think if you're not killing this Guan Yu, you need to shove this wave and look to try to do something on the far on the gold side. As Danto's ult comes out and 3 members here onto the Guan Yu. He's gonna get ulted by Herc as well. Ult comes out from Guan Yu, and
A
Ymojo's gonna
massive
catch him
rotation coming
with the
out.
Keprio to save him. Both supports ulting to peel for the people in Nirvana, forced to ult out as Jugger's dropped.
Blue team, even though having that counter rotation, they are pressured out still. This Hercules is just too menacing.
Yeah, I
The
mean, but
blink
I
is
don't think.
caught.
Yeah, I don't think this fight is worth it for the Serbs though. The ADC is getting out pressured and they might be able to find a kill, but okay, they do find a
The
kill.
expense of the Scylla ult. All
Yeah.
around the bees expended for virtually nothing.
Yeah, I think
Gotta
they
lose
need to
power
still look
here.
at this dual lane because this dual lane could become a problem.
Yeah. Everybody's playing so much onto the solo side of the map that this Hou Yi is just getting the ability to free farm. That's not something you want. You do not want the ADC to just be allowed to farm everything for free and just sit at the other person's tower the
Both
whole time.
carries on the side of catGirls are decently leveled up. AMC level 13, the same level set up, but that Hui is 2 levels ahead, and he could spell some danger for the Hercules if he gets caught in a bad spot.
The first time we see a rotation over towards this duo side, Hou Yi does fork over his beads to
Yeah,
not
don't know if I would do that, but hey, he beats the stun afterwards. But yeah, definitely just forked over his beats there. That could be a little bit of a problem with Gold Fury coming up soon here, and Hui with no beats. He probably called that out to team. I would assume.
Yeah, both teams realizing that there's nothing much value to be gained in solo lane from either side. Killing Guan's not really helping Hercules, and you not killing this Hercules, so there's nothing much that can be gained.
Could be possible. I do see the teammates here coming from the catGirls, but we also have Cerbs en route as well. Could be bad. I think Guan Yu could actually die here. He has no ult.
Guan Yu has overextended.
Yeah,
Went with
overextended
ult.
is
Oh, the scythe is missed, but it doesn't matter.
definitely
Uncle Fable
overextended.
picked
Yeah.
again. He's
But it looks
probably
like Stella might pay for this. No, she's still fine. The med comes out.
That is
Nirvana's gonna die.
Ravana.
Oh, he gets
Kepriel,
Kepriel.
massive Kepriel. He's out.
Yeah, I still think that's a win for the Serbs here because we're going next. Goldfield, right?
Yep, that's it. They've gone to Guan Yu. They've gotten what they wanted. They got everybody out. They've nothing else to lose.
Yeah, Uncle Fable getting too overzealous there, walking that man down to his tier 2. I guess he thought he needed an escort or something, but he walked him over there and paid the price for him and his jungler, both losing their lives for the overextension all the way into the enemy side of the map. And Gold Fury being looked at here, but actually no, just Oracles, just a little ADC fight, and
I feel like
I think it was split. Actually,
feel like
no,
Uncle
the
Fable.
Serbs got it. The Serbs got it.
Cerbs do get it. Uncle Fable over here he keeps trying to fight these one-on-ones, but as we can see, this is comp that's not going to be allowed. If you fight for way too long, you're gonna
You get
reap
jumped.
the benefits of what you've sown.
Yeah, Guan needs to be looking at this Gold Fury side with all members of the Serbs over here. Who gets
Oh,
this
you jump is
first out.
for Scylla ult.
Oh my god,
The
push him up.
Hercules taunt is not good.
He still does die though.
Still dies.
Yeah, this game's looking bad if you're VCat girls because even though they're even in gold, I mean Uncle Fable's just sitting trying to pick up scraps of whatever's left in solo, and your main player on the other team is just getting like 3-man ulted, 4-man ulted even. Actually no, it's just 3-man, but yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's
Gold
one-
Fury's getting burned down.
Yeah, the one thing to take note though from the VCat girls is that the Serbs teamwork and it's just been lacking. These Scylla ult combos have been just stopped every time by a Than ult, a Hercules push. They need to work on their communications because there's been so many times where things have gone wrong or just haven't
that's a
went
great
the way
point.
that they want.
Yeah, that's a great point. They have been missing a lot of stuff with their, trying to combo together, and they are going to look over here for the Power
Pushing.
Mentor.
Kepri could get picked here very easily.
Standing
As a
middle of
Yamoja
nowhere.
ult, amazing Yamoja ult catches him off guard. He has nowhere else to go. The
Yeah, and
Serbs
Serbs get that too, but
secured
Kepri's still
the-
alive here, and they
Guan Yu
put in
in.
too much for that
Back with
Kepri. They
Libra,
didn't kill him. Oh my god, yeah. And they do get a kill back into the jungler, but that is the jungler loss for the side of the Serbs, and they are looking for something here, but should be the end of this engagement, unless Hui has something to say about it. Hui wants to get in there. Looking at Hercules here, I would probably look at the Scylla here, or the Olaran, but nobody
Scylla is
making a
almost
move
out of
yet.
mana.
Emoja gets
Everybody's a
rooted.
little too
She
scared
could
to-
be dead here.
Yamoja does get grabbed in the
No
back.
damage. No damage dropped onto Emoja. What is this? Oh no, Guan Yu.
The Kepri ult
that's
is
okay.
good.
Yeah, I think that's miscommunication of catGirls. They were looking at the Emoja, and then half the team was like, "Nah, let me just walk to the left side," and Emoja gets all scot free, even though she's like no health, Naomi.
Yep. Looks like the Serb side had a better understanding of how they wanted to run that fight, and they just got out easier. Forcing
Yeah.
forcing Uncle Fable on this Guan Yu to get Kepri ult exhausted because he wasn't on the same page as the rest of his team.
You do lose your jungler, but hey, man, you get your Pyromancer, and you did just get the gold right before, so I think that's a win for Serbs, definitely. Yeah, they looks like the catGirls also have a little bit of a coordination
Yeah, both teams
problem. Sorry,
seem to be
coordination
both
problems.
teams showing to have a little bit of a coordination problem. What do you think the next objective on the list is? You think they're gonna play for this next pyro or gold or even
I mean,
potentially fire?
these spawns are kind of long. I think if you're the Serbs here, I think you want to try to farm as much as possible, but also stay grouped and look to get a pick here for this fire giant. Maybe push down that tier 1 tower, get some timers so you can look to further your lead, because you just want to start fights here if you're the Serbs, right? So if you can start a fight on a timer or for a tower and, steal the enemy farm, then you want to become as advanced as possible for that fire giant. And they will get
Indeed.
that tier 1 tower, as I said.
Yep, they do want to just push their lead as they are trying to ping out the path onto this Guan Yu that he might be taking, but I don't think he really wants to do much.
Yeah, for sure. And a little scuffle's going on here. Herc's gonna dash out. Ravana just forked over his
Working
beach with
over his
Thanatos
feet.
going in the air. Gonna land on
Will
him.
land.
Ravana.
Ravana up downing, very questionable. He does get out alive,
And
still
that's
no good.
3 ults forked over from Serbs, and just for 2 ults. I mean, hey,
If I'm this
Valorant
Kepi
over
right now, I'm like, come on team, I don't want to keep ulting like this. I
yeah,
don't want to have to
Uncle
keep saving
Fable
your
is
lives.
actually in a bad spot, but he could. I think he's doing the right job though, because the Serbs want this fire giant, but they have to worry about a Hui split pushing and a Guan Yu walking circles around them. So not a bad play from the side of catGirls right now.
This Ho Yi is now becoming a detriment to the whole team because he just got the T2. He does not have to go back to the lane for a long time.
Yeah, the Serbs, I think they should have just pushed, with their
It's a
lead.
fire giant.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
what's happening over on the fire
yeah,
giant?
it's actually getting burned a little bit. But catGirls do have a potential to steal this, and Catcher Ian is
But
gonna
Catcher
die.
does die.
With smoke, they could actually just take this out their hands, and
The
the
Serbs do
will
secure it.
secure it. Yeah, the Serbs will secure it. Good thing for them, but not a bad play for them to pull that as Nam's
He on
really
the
good here.
refrag, he's in behind. What is he gonna
Yeah.
do? Can we see what
Yeah,
he's gonna do?
Hui's jumping on the Scylla in here.
He does
trying
grab
to
the
get
frag
active.
on the Scylla.
Oh yes, yeah, this Hui is a problem, and
That is big.
yep, my man SRT just calls
Thanatos
up
looking to go in. He does kill DJ.
Yeah, Thanatos on a nice refrag there. Good, that's good to see. But other teammates are collapsing on him. He has to get his Kepler kill if he wants to have better chances of living. Hui jumps on him, misses the double
He
bounce,
misses the bounce. This could go bad for them.
and
No.
Thanatos still dies though. But yeah, Hui missed a double, but it's not that bad. This Emoji should
He's
die too.
working
Should
over
be
his
at all.
Aegis, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As he does not want to chase. He's done. He's like, all right, I got
Overall.
everything I wanted to.
Yeah, overall, I think that's a win for catGirls, right? You got all their fire giant off them, and this Emoji can
Giant
still die. Yeah,
Already
she might
gone
actually
already.
die. If he hits the bounce, yeah, he hits the bounce, and
He hits
she's
the
dead.
bounce. This Ho Yi is just, he's way too far ahead. He's just been allowed to free farm all game, and they're probably going to get this T2 right here.
I was trying to note on before this fight just exploded, but it was actually not worth it for the Serbs there prior, because they were forcing a fight over there, got nothing, while Hui just took their tier 2 and got a bunch of farm. So he's already even more ahead than he was off the bat, and once he gets Executioner, it's going to be a problem.
I was going to say, the only thing they really got value from the Fire Giant was the gold because they lost it on everybody, but I can't even say that because the catGirls just got 2 T2s off of it. The gold's not even there anymore.
Yeah, the map play from the Serbs just kind of being absent. I mean, they had the lead on the solo side, and Guan Yu's actually a level ahead. Look at that. Yeah, so they were cooking up here, but not putting the resources into the right bin, as you did notice before that they were missing a lot of their combos and stuff. So I think could be a factor. I think that's what they needed. They needed to hit all their stuff onto the person and kill them, because as you noticed, they forked over 3 ults for Ravana to be saved anyway. He just literally just
Hercules is extremely out of position here. He could die extremely quick if they
Oh my
see
god, yes,
Yep.
as the ult comes out from
As-
AMC, and he's
exactly
1
what we were
HP.
talking about earlier. Exactly.
Nice
what
ult
we
from
were
Scylla.
talking about.
Thanatos in here looking for AMC, misses
He
the ult and the side.
misses the side. This could go bad for Thanatos.
They're gonna
as
look
he
at
goes
him.
to ult it.
Yep. That's his
They're
Aegis
collapsing
on.
on him.
Oh, he went blink
He
Aegis.
is good with it.
Interesting pick, as Olaron ult comes out here, and Hui getting saved by the Keprio, it seems, and a Herc pull, but he might just die here, or Cirque. And
This
this Herc will just fall, Spring being used for no avail, and Yamoja getting chased down here, as there are some weak members, as Ravana is really low, but Yamoja does not get the bounce
No.
hit on her.
Oh, he
And
has to play this safe.
Guan Yu cooking up here. He's full health. He could run these guys down.
Guan Yu is fine. He will pick up this kill on Oleron. Oleron, nothing much he can do about the situation he's in.
My
As
God,
the
yeah,
kill is
and they
confirmed
do.
by Uncle Fable.
Yeah, they do get the kill there, and Umoja should die too, actually. Double ADC putting the pain on her, and not even a single Spectral coming out from any of the frontliners over there. I think it could help them. Like, that Hui is pretty big, and looks like the catGirls here will come on top on this, trying to jump over the wall, couldn't find it. I think they should
Couldn't
just go
reach
for the
it.
gold here.
Tried to be a leapfrog, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, this should be a free gold handed to catGirls, so I mean, yeah, man, this Hui definitely was a problem. They
Uh,
tried, yeah, I think the only way that you call your all run over is if you're getting a fire giant, right? So they got that lead in on a SRT side. I think they should have tried to get some relief for their all run. You know, get their all run up, try to get them some levels so that you could have everybody rotate to fire. Because think about it, who's gonna help you do fire better, a fed Hercules or a decently farmed all run?
definitely Oleron.
Exactly, as they do get a Power Mancer to patch up, and Guan Yu looking for something here on
Guan Yu
Scylla.
looking for Scylla.
A
No
little bit too
mana.
far
He
up
might
though.
just die.
A little bit too far up though. I don't think he
He
gets the
will
kill
be
though.
punished for this.
But his team with the counter engage here, it looks like they might not be able to get anything. But
Maybe a
Yemoja
little
actually
peek as
die.
the WinCon isn't nearby.
And they do get Yemoja for
First
this.
Sport does pick up the kill on Yemoja.
Yeah, I mean they have the towers down on the right side, but yeah, it looks like they're just gonna opt to steal the speed buff and reset for this fire. I think that's a great pick for them. Not too much expended, and fire's coming up, so that's something that will propel their lead even more. They get more farm here, they get to get the speed buff and push up waves. Probably this tier 2, possibly if they don't defend hard
Possibly.
enough.
They know Hercules isn't there. They just saw him on minion vision, and there's nothing
Fable's
much
just
to stop
gonna
him on the
stand
side.
in between. He's literally just the Emojo. It's just
Yeah,
blocking everything off.
just parted the Red Seas with the people.
Yeah, and Fire Giant's coming up there. I think they get this red buff and look to back. This red buff being dropped is really bad because, you know, that red buff helps you with a lot of damage going into these fights, and they're not gonna have red buff, and the catGirls will going into this FG. But it is something to note that they are both teams. Well, the Cerbs are more grouped on this Fire Giant, but the catGirls are on their way, so not like they'll be forking that over anytime soon.
This is a very unfortunate situation for the Serbs, as they can't even really try to make a pick on this Yi. He's so far ahead that you can't already kill him, and he has a Khepri in his pocket too. So on top of that, you have to extend so much just to get any value off of this Yi. He has his full starter online now and XE. It's gonna
Yeah,
take a
AMC's
lot
got a
to kill him.
mantle. Yeah, how do you feel about the AMC with a mantle?
AMC's realizing that his Yi's fed and that he's the prime target, as Yi does get knocked up by the Fire Giant. Very unfortunate drag.
Oh my
We
God!
do see a
Hold
fight
on,
break.
come on.
Rana
Scylla has
is
to dash
good.
out.
Yi
Yemoja, the next target here, the Herco, not really that impactful. Scylla has to back off, and so is Yemoja. Scylla is going to reset here. I think they should go back and pull this fire
Yeah.
or look at this Herc, to be honest.
They're
I think they're going a
chasing way
little bit
too
too
deep.
far. Yeah,
Vanto's ult is
being used.
extended. That snipe would have been good if he wasn't
Yeah.
dropped. Hercules does blink in. He uses his dash. This could be bad for him.
Yeah, Thanatos
AMC ult
opting
does
not to
come
go
out.
in, though.
And he does get shredded by the double ADC comp. Scylla ult is
Yep.
good, but the damage isn't there.
Yeah, the healing's just going to patch up that Scylla ult. I mean, did he even ult that? I don't think Scylla ulted, because that AMC is looking to catch up his health with the HP5 from Hives and the healing. And they're going to stop this Fire Giant with Cerbs kind of in shambles. They wasted all their cooldowns on that last fight, like their solo and all that stuff, and they can't even get in. So that's just a free Fire Giant for catGirls, if I'm being honest.
Well, back to what you were saying about this mantle before that fight just erupted out of nowhere. I don't think the mantle is the worst thing. I probably am in the situation that he's in where my teammate's super far ahead and I'm the target. I'm the only target that's killable. So if I can relieve any pressure off of myself and help my fed teammate in any way, it's not the worst situation.
I think that's a perfect pickup, and Hui's also going to go for the kin size just to shred even more. And I like the fact that the jungler and the AMC both have a mantle here because, you know, it seems in these fights that SRT is just getting in there, right? And they can't stay there for too long, right? So if they try to dive this double ADC, which, you know, they want to do because they're two physicals, right? They can't stand in there too long because they have mantle stuns hitting them back and forth if they want to stay in there for too long, and that leads for more damage for Hui.
Yeah.
And you know, as well with AMC, that guy's gonna be locked down. Like I said before, all he has is dash. They could really lock that guy down if he stays in there too long in the sun.
I completely agree. I would have liked to see some form of proc come out from the backliners from the Serbs because it is 4 physical, and anything helps if the longer it takes for them to kill you. Because Kepri's not doing much damage, and if you can dish out more damage than they're doing to you, then you're fine in this situation.
Yeah, definitely. And that Kepri also coming in big here with Guan Yu getting ult in and Oliver ult being forced out, and he's all in the back. This Oliver half HP getting smoked, but Guan Yu's also taking a lot of damage himself. He's just gonna die, but so
Guan Yu
will the
is
ADC.
executed.
Yeah, he's
Hoyi's
executed,
still
but look
alive.
at the rest
Hoyi
of the
doing
team. They're all
massive
in
damage.
a horrible spot. Hercules gonna die. Oh my god, the entire team in a horrible spot. They could just end here.
That
Casilla has no
combo.
ult. Oh, but Ravana is gonna eat
Big
a,
crush,
a
big
crush.
crush.
But it still could be the end, I think. They just have to
Thanatos
look
on
out
a
for this
bloodlust.
Thanatos.
Thanatos, they
Thanatos
need to watch out for this Thanatos. Triple root.
yeah.
Your
And
Mojo is
Scylla gets,
clean.
yeah,
Back
they
to the Phoenix.
that's unfortunate if you're the catGirls. They're just gonna walk away here. They got the Phoenix, not the worst thing, but they had to look out for this Thanatos, right? He's like the only one that can just one shot your guys while getting in pretty decently, right? So that's a little bit unfortunate, but not
Close
that bad.
call. That was a great defense on the Titan. Maybe not on the Phoenix, but on the Titan, that was a great defense. I'll have
Yeah,
to
they're
give
gonna
it.
nab this red buff and look for this gold fury, which I think they can do. This Thanatos, his ult's coming up somewhat soon, but this Primal Fury is history.
That combo that we were talking about earlier, that Hoi 2 AMC ult, there's just so much DPS, so much shred. Nobody on the side of the Cerbs can really deal with that shred.
And it seems every single time that the catGirls get a win, they end up getting a red buff as a complementary piece.
Yep, they just get that, and then they get some major objective.
Yeah, so I mean, your damage is falling behind. This red buff being constantly stripped, you're a little bit behind. You know, you're not able to get your damage off onto these guys as you know they have mantles, they have a little bit of defense, they're spreading out a little bit, and they have Kepri. You know, Kepri 2 gives protections. The Kepri ult saves them if push comes to shove, and Guan Yu healing despite not having the med. I mean, it's a little bit hard here to pin down the carries for on the side of V catGirls.
Yeah, it's very hard to pin down their carries. They just have so much peel on the sides of them. They just have Ho Yi, just DPS. Nobody wants to be around this Ho Yi right now. He's just so far ahead that it makes it so hard to be a frontliner on the side of the Serbs. Because if you're anywhere near him for too long, especially on gods like Hercules or Thanatos, you can get killed very quickly because you don't have that much
For
mobility.
Stash and Guan Yu ulting on the chase, not able to get in range. So did Ravana also forked over. Not that bad with Hercules getting grabbed in. He might get shredded again, but not quite grouping from the VCAT girls with
Great,
Thanatos in that bad
massive.
spot though. Half health each already. Huyo
Ho
coming
Yi
out. Yeah.
crashing onto the
No
Scylla.
minion waves though, but they do have Fire Giant. They could possibly look to hit this Phoenix a little bit. And
That should
Ravana
be
didn't blink in.
ended very
Thanatos
soon.
ult burst out all around.
The emoji ult
Oh,
is massive value.
yeah, Guan Yu kept getting stunned in, and
You see
Ravana
Ravana
being
on the other
gone
side of
on.
the door getting caught lacking. I don't know if he was just not on the same page as the rest of his team, but he's just on the wrong side of the door.
Yeah, kinda caught in no man's land right there. They went a little bit too hard. I mean, I think a thing that's noteworthy with these teams is that I think they should be keeping in mind of where their minions are, right? You have Fire Giant, yeah, but it's about to run out, and you don't have minions to push up for you as Hercules gets a blink ult and gets a jump force, and Guan Yu getting ult into the backline, not that much damage to what them.
Oh, he's just being allowed to free cast this fight. He doesn't
Yeah,
need
but
to
the
do anything.
front line just getting smoked. The AMCO came out and the emoji's 1 HP. Hercules kind of no man's land as well. Team's not exactly in position with Scylla get a double root.
The
And
ult combination is massive.
yes, that was an excellent double root from this Scylla here. Got
Double
both
from
of
the
them.
Scylla into the
Yeah, she's on a
knockback
chase
by
too. Looking for AMC,
Hercules.
looking for more blood. His age is gonna come out
Aegis
here.
is extended.
Might save him. No Hercules dash to get him out, or to put him out of position. I mean, AMC's probably gone. Looking at Guan Yu, misses the scythe off the mark.
Like, unfortunate.
And
That is a very important pick for the Serbs. They do
yeah.
kill the win con for the catGirls. There's nothing for them to pull yet. They do have a little bit of time. Hercules is on those fire minions, so they should be fine.
No, I don't. I mean, his clear's kind of lackluster right now. Would you say?
Yeah, I would agree, but he's gonna catch this next wave, and their Phoenix is coming back up, so the Titan will start healing before anything really eventful happens. As
Yeah, so he
EFG
will
is
be able to
being
save it.
pulled.
Yeah, EFG on the table just ticked over 30. They need to get in here, need to steal this. Their General Talia is dead, but I think if they can kill these Emoji or look to
They
steal
steal
this,
this Fire Giant. That
fire,
could
yeah.
be game. They've
Yeah.
gone complete pressure of Fire Giant.
and it did go
The
over to
V
V Cat
catGirls.
Girls. They did get it.
They did get it. That could spell disaster.
Yes,
They're
Scylla-
down 4. That has to be
Oh,
game.
this could be game. Yeah, this is. I think this is game, man. There's 4 dead, and you just lost EFG. I mean, that Scylla was not able to get the secure onto
Unless
that Fire
Vishra-
Giant.
Unless
she had
Vishra
her-
can do anything.
Yeah, I think she had her ult up. She just got it back up, but just in a bad position. I mean, dang, that's horrible if you're on the side of the Serbs. I think you know the enemy team is coming. You need to try to secure that as much as possible. Try to get your Scylla out of there so that you can get the 2 off. And this is definitely
Titan
game.
is getting shredded.
And so
Yes,
is
SRT
SRT.
dying on the way out, trying to defend his Titan. Last man standing cannot do it as we end the game with a deicide.
It's 3-1 with the favor right now, and V catGirls, they have the momentum right now. I mean, what do you think went wrong for that Serbs over there? I mean, obviously lost but like, what else could they have done?
They need to shut down this ADC. Like he's the last 2 games I've seen, he's just kept his lead and kept his cool. Like there's no pressure on him in the lane. He can just do whatever he wants, and
Yeah,
there's just
I
nothing
agree with
about it.
that. I definitely agree with the with the keeping his cool part. Because SRT did have that lead, but I mean, it seems that he didn't have the rest of the team to back up with him. Like maybe they're miscomming and they're kind of pushing a little bit too far just to gain nothing, right? Because in these fights, if you're pushing in, you're going to deep enemy territory. Yeah, sure, you're showing your dominance, but you're not looking at the ADC lane where you have Hui just shoving in, just getting all the towers, all the farm, and then next time you come into a meaningful fight when objectives are on the line, you kind of just get slapped by the Hui crits and stuff, and it doesn't really look good. As we saw there in that game, they did get really killed, more so by the AMC, but I think the Hui was just putting crits on the important targets.
Yeah, that's one thing that I did find interesting, that AMC has a lot more damage than this Hou and so does V-Strat. Almost a majority of the lobby has more damage compared to General Telia, but his impact was just there. You can see it in the structure damage that he made a big damage on the terrain of the map.
Yeah, because although he wasn't one-shotting every person, he was definitely pushing forward the map progress. You know, getting those towers down. You know, getting the farm for the side of the catGirls. You know, taking that farm away from Oleron while Oleron's wasting time, losing levels. You know, it's overall not like not what you want to see if you're the Cerbs here. And I think for their comp, I think they got two really great picks, but I think they kind of just picked whatever for the last three. To be honest, as we saw, the cohesion wasn't quite there. Maybe if these picks were like picks that they're really comfortable on and they could land all their stuff on, then maybe it would have been better. But not there's a few good moments like with that double Scylla route, but overall not enough to close out the catgirls.
I completely agree, and they just didn't play around this Oleron. They just let him get so far behind to the point where you're a god and you're this far behind, you can't do anything no matter who you really are because you don't have the DPS, you don't have the sustain, you don't have anything that really brings much to the table against this comp when your ult can only do so much for you when they're against a comp that's just meant for a pick.
Yeah, definitely agree. As we're gonna try to look on to the next game, but yeah, I think that's something they need to do. Yeah, as well. In addition to the comp, make sure they're keeping their awareness up, right? Keeping an eye on this all around man. It only takes even a singular solo rotation over there, right? You could have the rest of the team fight on solo side, that's fine, right? But if you can send your solo over there or anybody, that just turns the fight in all around's favor, right?
Yeah, completely. He just needed something. He had nothing in the majority of that game to relieve that pressure. He was just sat under tower majority of the time, and there's nothing you can do when you're that far behind. Like you can't farm because your farm is getting prevented from a mere fight, and there's just nothing much you can do in the
Yeah.
situation.
And I mean, if that's the case, right? I think that they need to perhaps if a bug could call for the rest of the team to try to stop taking fights while he's trying to farm. Maybe he can make that apparent to his team, right? So that he can get the farm on. He can be like, guys, I'm kind of a bit below. Can we take it easy on the fights? I need to farm. Maybe that brings awareness to the team, and they could try to play it back a little bit and maybe hover his side, and he can get his farm back up, and that game looks a lot more even.
Yeah, I did like the idea behind the fire giant pull. They did secure it, but they just didn't play the disengage well, and they just lost every bit of value they got from the fire giant to stall them to get general. I mean, to like relieve some stress off of General Telia. They just lost it all within like the same 2 minutes.
Yeah. Unfortunate there, but definitely still strong points for the Serbs here if they want to look to get back into this game. Just a little bit more polishing. Need to touching up and be aware and really ask themselves what are they fighting for and look for the value so that they can cut off as much of these filler fights as they can and get into the game.
Yep, like when people watch TV shows, they don't want to watch filler episodes. They just want to fight for the important arcs, and that's just what it wasn't in this game. It was just constant filler. I would
Yeah,
like to see more just main story arc.
yeah. Maybe the PCAT girl is watching more anime and they're more aware of that. So maybe that's helping them out in here.
Yep, as we will be going to a break for game 5.
Hello, everyone. The special guest Cyber is here. I want to thank everyone for watching this
Me
set.
too.
Jess, Zav, Margie. I want to thank you guys for casting. I want
No,
everyone to get ready for season 9 of Smite and the new season of QSL that will be happening very soon. I want to thank everyone on the mod team for making it such a great season for most of us. You guys want to say?
most of
Yeah,
us. Yeah.
I would like to say I like to see how everybody improved this season. We had people come from the dirt bottom and reach the very top, and some people who hit the dirt bottom and stayed there, like Mr. It's really Cyber. But everybody else, you did a good job this season. I'm very
Yes,
proud of
everybody
everybody
else.
else.
Unlike It's Really Cyborg, unfortunately, he is most improved, but he will not be improving any further from dirt level.
Hey, bro, you gotta start from somewhere, bro.
But yeah, GG's.
GG's.
And if you're still live, I want to give a special thank you to Neptune for casting for spectating 99% of these games. He
True.
put his hard-earned time into this, and I want to give a special thank you. And that is it.
Congratulations, the V catGirls, the goons, for being your amateur.
The Cat Goons for winning.
Yes, congratulations.